Welcome to the Brutiful Game. As always, I am Blake here with Ferris.
Hola.
And Ron.
What's happening?
For a very special Dare to Shine episode. Dare to Shine! We record this on Friday following the Women's World Cup victory by the U.S. Women's National Team, and I am still... I can't stop smiling.
It's awesome.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I can't stop smiling. It's freaking
I was drinking tea
amazing.
for a week.
Dude,
I see what you did there.
Yep. Pinkies up.
Oh, abso-freaking-lutely.
So we're obviously going to talk about the Women's World Cup final.
Yeah.
And the Gold Cup final.
Was there anything else happening?
I think that was it. Did we get the Copa final?
We do. I mean, we can throw it in there somewhere.
We'll
I didn't put it in the content, but we'll throw it in there somewhere.
Currently, there's no Premier League mentions on here, but
I'm sure we'll get into something vortexy and then just flow down the loving, holding river of the Premier League.
Sluice down the vortex of Premier League, which starts in 28 days.
Something like that.
It's like 4.5 weeks
Matt
away.
Call just texted me saying, hey, looking at my family coming down for a vacation in Orlando sometime in November. Maybe bring a present for the little one. Afton Villa kit.
Amazing.
I was like...
An Afton Villa kit? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Damn,
that's pretty awesome.
Already with the dad jokes. Thank you, Matt.
I was like, but wait a minute. Will they still be in the Premier League by the time she remembers watching them?
Probably not.
Well, then I did admit.
Shots fired. I
would like to see those guys come out swinging like the Wolves. But first, before we get to the soccer, is this Beautiful Game craft beer and soccer podcast, after all, we got Good Dude Craft Beer, which is Ferris's.
It is. And gentlemen.
Oh, no. Why does this worry me?
I don't know, because last week it was Budweiser.
Yes, you're
that's right.
Yeah.
America.
Yeah,
and look what happened. We won the World Cup.
He wanted to do it twice in a row, so I'm a little afraid.
And I say that with a little bit of tongue in cheek, but also, guess who was one of the biggest...
this is what I wanted to bring up. Your beer pick was a wonderful pick.
Yes.
Because the NWSL is now being sponsored by Budweiser.
Oh, funny.
Yes, they picked it up, and ESPN picked up the rest of the NWSL season.
After the World Cup, there was this big push saying, hey, you get to watch all these people play.
Yep.
And then people were saying, come on, big sponsors, why don't you get behind this? Budweiser came in. Hey, man, not my beer choice, but I'll raise a glass to the Bud. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a huge get for the NWSL.
That's incredible. Tons of money
coming
into that
absolutely
now.
Just well. I mean,
I think they listen to the podcast.
That's true. No, I agree with you.
Ferris bringing in the American what was the American Red Lager or whatever was special for
Discovery.
Budweiser.
It wasn't Discovery Center, but it was something similar to that.
Discovery Center.
I'm thinking of
the Science Center in Orlando. I don't know what that is.
Or in Jurassic Park.
Oh yes, there you go.
Yeah, that's where it is.
You were too busy figuring out if you could. You never thought you should.
What have we got in there? King Kong?
That's our next podcast.
Yes. We call it
Jurassic Park and you.
It's the J Park Pod.
J Park Pod.
Gross.
You're so hip, Blake.
Hashtag please like and subscribe.
And add a few comments, whatever. Anyways, gentlemen, walking through the old beer aisle there at Total Wine. And I was literally about to walk out and just go, okay, I'll come back in another day and see if the mind juices are going, right?
The mind juices?
Sounds very much more disgusting.
Mind juices.
That totally sounds like something out of an Owen Wilson movie.
Yeah, right?
Whoa. It's the mind juices.
Mind juices.
Whoa. I just had my mind juices flowing.
Anyways. Then something just sprung out at me.
The mind juices?
The mind juices. Grabbed, snatched. A beer. It's a style we've had before on the pod. I do not believe this brewery we've ever had on the pod before, but it checked a few things for me. What did...
Purple.
Sure. What did we see the amazing women's team after the World Cup do a lot?
Like you mean immediately following, like the whistle
shortly
blew,
there?
or
Shortly thereafter. What were they doing in the locker room?
Dude, all their
videos,
social media outputs been amazing. Ashlyn
Harris, thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, the dancing, the partying, the just like,
and they were all wearing ski
the
goggles,
dancing, the partying, and the
singing,
drinking,
the drinking. The drinking of the champagne, gentlemen.
Uh-oh.
It is not champagne.
Did you get some
but it is
The champagne of beers.
Omi Gang Brut IPA in a champagne-looking bottle.
This is amazing because we have had this style before.
We have, but we've not had the brewery before.
Have we never done Oma Gang?
We had to have done Oma Gang.
That's crazy. If we did, it is
I am almost
early on.
Yeah, real early on. But a brewery based out of New York, nonetheless. And where was their amazing parade?
In New York. Look at you.
Yeah. Every now and again I can theme beers.
I feel like we helped discover this style.
We did.
Because we tried to
do not pour this in the glass, gentlemen, because we are going to drink it the way that the incredible women of the U.S. did, straight out of the bottles. That's how they were doing it. We're not going to spray it on each other.
That was so great.
But straight out of the bottle. So, Blake, I pass you.
Okay, I'm glad you got us glasses.
Well, I didn't really think about it at the time, so just go with it, okay? The thought of having it out of the bottle like popped to me as no pun intended.
Dry, sparkling India Pale Ale. For those of you who have not listened to the pod, we've tried this style before, which is kind of I
love this style.
It's brewed in a way that it's dry like a champagne. I don't know if you have got a description.
Yes, I sure do. So first off, though, Omi Gang, we are proud once again to shine the spotlight on the New York State hop farmers with the release. That was not of this beer. That's a different beer. It's not their thing. But I'll talk about the beer real quick. The Brut IPA, a different breed of bubbly. We nestled on a 19th century American hop farm, but our roots stretch back across time and water, all the way to Belgium. Brut IPA brilliantly expresses the best of both proud brewing cultures. Dry hopped with Mandarina, Bavaria, Citra, and Calypso hops, patiently bottle conditioned in our cellars. This sparkling sensation is beautifully balanced and intricately effervescent.
Look at that. You can see the yeast on the bottom of the...
Yeah, you can.
Ooh, this is
with a bright burst of hops and only 140 calories, it's a perfect match for life's lighter moments and different breed of bubbly.
Dude, good
awesome.
pick.
Good pick.
Yeah,
Good.
man. I think I said the juices just reached out and grabbed it.
New York Brewery.
Okay, so let me have a little brewing history here from it's amigang.com.
I think it's Oma Gang.
Oma Gang?
Like, oh my God.
Oma Gang.
Yeah.
What am I saying? Why? Okay. So they have tradition born in 1549 with a big story. But some of their first beers were a Abbey Double and a traditional Tapas style dark ale. They have a huge.
Well, these are
very.
some of
It's a very Belgium inspired brewery.
I was going to say they are very partially I'd say responsible for getting Americans into Belgian style beers because that's what they do.
Exactly.
I think I just remembered if we did their beer, I think I remember what it was. When Adrian Winter was playing with Orlando City, did I not do the Oma Gang Game of Thrones beer, Winter's Coming? That might be when we did Oma Gang. If we did it.
Oh, did we? I don't know.
I'm still checking.
I don't know. I got to check because
I don't know. Yeah.
It was one of those things I wanted to do so bad that I can't remember if I did or didn't, but they did do a Game of Thrones inspired beers. So,
well, and the fun thing is when you type the brewery into Google, it pops up their tagline and then their site, but their tagline says where heaven met earth and stayed a while.
Oh, that's great.
So not up to 97.
No, we did. We didn't do it. We haven't done it.
I didn't think that we had. They have a Prost Cologne. Again, based out of Cooperstown, New York. And this just they have a bunch of they have a Hop State IPA, some Kolsch's.
I'll have to share some cool pictures with you because Jeff booked us after he did send us our listeners sent us the pictures of being at the Butternut Brewery with the Moose Thunder. He went to Oma Gang next.
Oh, did he?
He got some great shots from the inside of their brew pub
awesome.
and stuff.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Yeah, it's a really cool looking place.
New York. So excited to try this, and we are going to celebrate with our incredible team that won. Oh, did we spoil that? They won the
they did win.
Women's World Cup.
Wait, they won?
One of the better paired beers to theme that I think we've done. Well played.
Thank you.
Well played. Shall we, gents?
I think we shall.
Get your popper toppers ready.
I think we only have 2.
Ron, you want the magic popper topper?
Thank you.
Where's the other one at?
No Omegang.
No, we've never done Omega. That is
I didn't think so.
We've done a couple of
sir.
dogfish. We've done. I can't believe that. Bell's is not one we've done either, is it? I need to go through and just see what companies we haven't done. We don't, because
There's a lot.
Guys who listen, anybody who listens to the pod, I'm going to throw a shocker out there. We don't plan everything.
No,
so the beers tend to grab us literally a lot of times. This thing smells delicious. Because we've had the one we've had the brewed IPA from Castle Church Brewery.
That we did, and that was fantastic.
Locally, first time we'd ever tried the style. And then after,
no.
Sierra Nevada put out a brute.
No, it was not from Castle Church. It was from Ellipsis Brewing. Oh, no, we tried it. On the pod, we had it from
Castle Church.
No. We tried it in Castle Church.
Yeah.
On the pod, we had it from Ellipsis, I think.
You're right. And then I tried the Sierra Nevada brute, which was good.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited.
Yeah.
Try this.
Of course, I kind of added the American style and just put it into a koozie.
There you go. Cheers, gentlemen.
Go USA.
To the ladies.
To the ladies.
Oh,
USA.
Man. Women's national team. Oh,
Ooh.
man.
That's a tasty one.
That, is like a beer champagne. Like, that's fantastic.
I might have to cheat and pour this in the glass in a second.
Yeah, I'm
Only
definitely
because
going to
I
pour it in
want
the
to
glass.
smell it.
Okay, you do you.
I'm gonna
You
cheat.
do you, boo-boo. I'm going to stay right over here, and I'm going to...
I want to smell it more. Oh, Ron, can you hear this in the microphone? It's very carbonated.
Yes, it is.
So be careful as you pour because it's carbonated. It pours like a champagne. Look at that.
Wow.
Look how pale yellow it is too.
That's so cool.
This looks very different from the other ones we've had. They were pale, but not like this. This literally looks like champagne.
I just saw the...
Wow. Holy cow. Well,
we had a Sierra Nevada brute.
There we go.
Yeah.
We tried the Castle Church at their brewery.
Right.
But
correct.
did not bring that here.
Correct.
Um,
And that one was very, very good.
So as we drink this champagne beer, I really did think it was going to be the champagne of beers, Miller Genuine Draft. For a second, when Ron said that, the champagne of beers, I was like, man, you did Budweiser last week.
The High Life?
If you did High Life.
Oh, that would have been amazing. That would have been amazing.
I would only forgiven you if you did High Life with the authentic chalices that you can find.
Right?
Yeah.
Man, this beer is just crazy.
Real nice,
how
Clark.
that is. Yeah. Man, good call, dude.
Thanks, man.
Good call. So we all had the opportunity. This was great. We actually saw together the last 3 U.S. women's national teams games in the World Cup, hanging out our local World of Beer over in Dr. Phillips in Orlando, which was great every time. But boy, did they underestimate the crowd that would show up for the final on that fateful
I think they
Saturday.
underestimated the last 2 matches.
True, but they
Yeah.
grossly overestimated the 11 a.m. final.
Poor women behind the bar.
Man.
What's the one in Ismail, and I don't know the other one, but both of them, Greg, Brian, and I are pretty much there every Sunday during the American football season, and they're always there. They are fan-freaking-tastic.
Oh, they're great. They just
the World of Beer and Dr. Phillips. Ismail, I cannot remember the other. They are absolutely great, and they did everything they could. What I liked is about near the end of the first half, they had some help come in, and one of the bartenders, the help that kind of walked around the bar, the whole bar just gave a cheer because
you would have
everybody knew, everybody knew that these two were just busting their ass, and nobody was getting mad at them or anything.
What was crazy, because the game was on, this full restaurant, no one was really angry.
Everybody understood. Like, everybody was excited to watch the game, but everybody understood that you either had to go to the bar sometimes, or you had to help them out and take plates to the bar. Like, it was just.
And if you've been following the World Cup, there was something that always happened, and that is the U.S. women's national team scores in the first 12 minutes. It did not happen this go round.
Nope.
So it felt different. People were like, is my food 30 minutes late? I didn't even notice because I am glued to this TV right now. What a match. What a fun final. I would argue the best game was probably U.S.
Save that for later. It's on the things, but I know where you're going.
Yeah.
Yes.
But man, what a match. The Netherlands, who, why didn't we talk about them more? They did win the European Championship, and we probably should have given.
Well, they had a struggle to even get to this World Cup. It came down to one of their last games to even qualify. But I will say they came out with a very good strategy, and they played defensively very, very well against the U.S. And their goalie, who ended up, we'll get to that, but she was fantastic. She made a couple of incredible
It could have been like a 4-0 kind of situation. That goalie was fantastic. She kept it in check.
And she kept some rockets out of the back of the net, which...
And to be fair, for those first, when did that first goal come in? Yeah, the 61st. It definitely felt like the defense of the Netherlands was chipping away at the confidence of the U.S. It was just getting to be a struggle.
Yeah.
Like what had not been a struggle before, opportunities that would have totally been a score just weren't, whether their back line or whether the goalkeeper got in the way. It just had a different feeling. And it was just nervy.
You can tell the U.S. were definitely, I don't want to say getting frustrated, but we're having a very hard time breaking down the Netherlands defense, their counter even, because there was a couple times. It wasn't until late in the first half, but they did have some good counters, and then they could not get past the wall in goal. And her name is, I'm going to butcher it, I'm sure. Sorry, Venedal. Venedal. God almighty.
That's pretty good on Ron.
Yeah, it was. Hell yeah. Are you Dutch, Ron?
Yeah.
Yeah. But she was playing outstanding, and the U.S. just could not. There was a couple ones. There was a Alex Morgan flick on that ended up hitting the post, and then like a Julie Ertz volley off of ball that kind of fumbled around and then fell to her off a corner. That save was
Julie
incredible.
Ertz's volley would have been the goal of the tournament.
Yeah, and she made an incredible save.
The ball came in from the corner. It was headed straight up by Julie Ertz. Julie Ertz turns. The ball doesn't hit the ground. She just turns and side kicks it right into the path of the net. And Venedal is there. Strong punch out. Puts her two hands together in fists and helps save that. I mean, incredible save.
And that was just after another save that she had made. And I don't remember who hit it. Oh gosh, it might have been Ertz. Oh no, I don't remember who it was. But there was somebody that hit one just as solid as can be. And it went more at her, but it was still a fantastic save. And then she followed up with this. And you're right, Julie Ertz worked her tail off to even get to that ball to put on what was an incredibly just very talented, very, very, you don't really realize how difficult it is, but the angle that she was going and how to position her body, the pace she got on it, and how cleanly she hit it was
just
beautiful.
Incredible. Just incredible. Venedal had certainly deserved the award because... Man, so many other games that she was good at stopping
are fairly new to having the women's game at a professional level.
Yeah.
Which is what's nuts.
Because they've had a rich history over Van Basten and...
but they've also quickly gotten in...
You can just go on. Cruyff.
And they made it to the final. I would argue that, and it looks like it could be the case, with different... clubs you see that are starting to get into the women's soccer or professional soccer over in Europe. If the European clubs really start doing that more, Man United, right? Aren't they about to get a women's team now? Right?
No, we got one last year, and they actually got promoted into the top flight. Yeah.
So with that being said, America is going to have to fight hard on the women's side of the game because Europe has a better infrastructure. They have if they choose to invest more, their infrastructure is such with coaches and everything else, they could bring the home of Women's World Cup, women's football back to Europe. Well, and it's going to be something we're going to have to hold on to because they're going to
specifically England. Yes. And I say that because, yes, you have your Chelsea ladies, your Man City ladies, United, so on and so forth. But the Premier League has talked about taking over that league.
Right.
What that would do for the league alone would be insane. Look at what the Premier League has done just with their product on the men's side across the globe.
If that happened and we could, even if it was streaming or something, get the women's game, a Premier League for
that'd
us.
be so great.
That'd make me so happy.
I bet you. I have no knowledge of this, but I bet you at some point throughout this upcoming season, somebody somewhere, a Yahoo Sports, BN Sports, whatever, will pick up the what is it? Ron, do you know what it's called?
The top flight in England?
Yeah,
for the ladies? I'm not sure off the top of my head.
No, I'm not either.
But if the Premier League took it over, that'd be wonderful.
It's possible.
But that's where America's got to watch out.
It's just the FA Women's Super League. Yep. I knew it was something very, very, very simple. But if the Premier League can take that over, I really think that they could help grow the game.
But in Europe, you have a much better soccer infrastructure, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
So the ability for them to come strong, if more places really start throwing down like that, it's going to be a struggle. But you know what? That's a good thing. That's a good
problem to have.
So
long as that the U.S. keeps the pressure on the NWSL.
And on the other side of that coin, you're welcome, Europe, because you don't get that, I don't think, without the U.S. women's national team from 99 on.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Do you know what I'm saying? But without this, and nothing like sitting over in Europe, man, these bloody Yanks owning us in the sport that should be ours. Competition's good for everybody, man. Yep. Make the whole, and we got to see the final 3 games for the U.S. Those are fantastic matches to watch. So
incredible games to watch.
So it is getting better,
and they were incredible games to watch because all 3 of them had the best competition that the U.S. have ever faced in a World Cup.
Do you know what's crazy? I feel like in a way, the U.S. did not have as good of a defense as they had on the pitch for 2015, but somehow they played better. Does that make any sense?
They definitely played better, but they played better because they are very, very organized. They're tactically very astute and strong. You're right. The defense wasn't the best. We were playing a left winger at left back for a majority of it.
Bless Crystal Dunn.
Right. Yep.
I mean, in some instances, I want to make her my player of the freaking tournament because she played in a position that she admittedly has said, I don't like this.
Right.
I even hate it. And she did it.
And somebody else in that who could have easily been the player of the match in this game and one of the tournaments, Kelly O'Hara, before she went out in this game, was playing out of her mind. She was playing amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And
everything just clicked.
Yeah, and the center backs were a little bit.
Look at that. I got goosebumps, man.
Yeah, I love
talking about like,
give me a brute IPA. The center backs, and Dahlkemper, this was her first. She wasn't outstanding, but she was incredibly solid back there. And then to partner with Sauerbrunn, it added balance to both of them. And then you had wingers on the wing backs essentially on the side that kept bombing up and down. And even when we played, you played in the first few games. Davison. She came in and she played outstanding.
Yeah.
You know, and she didn't really play a whole lot in the last 3 games. So we kind of stuck with the same lineup. But more importantly, I think what was very strong in this is our midfield comprised of a Julie Ertz half center back, half Roy Keane type role. But also Sam Mewis getting the start in those last 3 games was immense.
Yeah.
She is such an underlooked, quiet, but phenomenal player in midfield. She's big, she's strong, she's very, very good with the ball at her feet, and she was an anchor back there. And to have somebody like Ertz, who is a pit bull, next to her added a lot of balance in the midfield and allowed the U.S. to really lock down games and play very organized.
Yeah, I think one of the things about the defense, going back to that a second, one of the things that we missed in the defense was that Julie Ertz style, that very smartly positioned player, that relentless attacking defender. And when I say attacking, I mean she's taking on the offense, not that she's physically attacking.
And on any set piece, she is very attacking on set pieces.
Right.
That's like,
And then,
sorry. Go ahead.
No worries. And then moving her to the midfield did us such a huge service, as Ferris is saying, with the addition of allowing a young, awesome noir star player to allow her to roam, and that's Rose Lavelle. Because that midfield was so
she got to play the number 10 role that she should be playing.
Right. And that allowed her to put a lot of really good distributive passes through the line, over the top, into the wings, and even allowed her to score goals.
You know what's crazy? As she had said, and we saw, she did a terrible game against France.
I still think she had a good game against
that's
France.
out of her own mouth.
Rose Lavelle.
Oh, she did not.
She
absolutely
said she did not have a good game at all. France.
She'll admit that too. Yeah,
but that didn't bother her.
No, she bounced right back in the England game, and then even more so in the Netherlands game. And people are talking about her, and very well, that she could possibly be the best talent in the world in the women's game. She is that just absolute. I don't want to say Messi-esque, but she has that type of speed and control with the ball at her feet. You can kind of see the comparisons there a bit. The only thing is she's slight, but you can kind of say that about Messi as well. And she gets injured a little too easily, but when she's healthy, she is absolutely phenomenal.
She's the future of the team too. Like, that's also amazing.
Absolutely. And going back real quick to your point, Ron, about Ertz, there were several times in this tournament, actually in all three of the last games, where she stepped in and then she made that fifth defender, and they played three at the back with the wing backs.
I gotta be honest.
That shows the versatility of Ertz by far.
If you had to ask me who's the MVP personally for me, for the women's national team, Ertz was high up there because, again, we didn't have the defense, I think, that was as good as the 2015 team. However, it's like they all knew what they could do and played to the best of the ability. So Ertz does drop in and becomes like that fifth defender. She was amazing. She was everywhere in people's faces. She was just a friggin' superstar. And yes, she got recognition and stuff, but and she's also one of my favorite players for this run.
On USA set pieces, every team was worried about how do they mark Julie Ertz.
She was
absolutely.
She could put her head on the ball. She
so.
could put a foot on the ball, as we saw in that volley.
She can put a thigh on it. Didn't she score one in the lead up to the World Cup that kind of just went off her thigh? And one of the other things that I don't think it's underlooked, but our depth is incredible. When you bring Lindsey Horan off the bench, when you bring Carly Lloyd off the bench, when you bring Ali Krieger off the bench at halftime in the Women's World Cup final to slot in her veteran mindset and her work rate, she played incredible in that second half. But that's a type of depth, and you see why Ali was brought into this team. And you see how just this team is set up to succeed in years to come because we have such a depth and talent.
But you know what's crazy? This coach has gotten stick for choices with team.
But she made a big call here to sit Horan and play Mewis over her.
Same thing with
Rapinoe. Not pay off?
Same thing with Rapinoe.
In the game beforehand. Yeah, her player management and personnel changes in this tournament were spot on. She got almost every call of that right.
I wonder if she will step away and retire at like a height, or she'll stay around.
Think about what's next year.
Oh, you got the Olympics already?
Yeah.
God, really?
Yep.
That seems like we just were doing.
And guess what happened in our last run? We got knocked out.
Out by Sweden.
I could see her hanging on and trying to win that, and then stepping away. At that point.
I just felt like that was further away.
Most positives.
Where's that one at?
2020, Japan.
Oh, yeah. Man. Time flies. Hey, dude.
absolutely crazy, right?
You got to try. You're going to be in China, which is closer than here to Japan. I realize it's still a bit of a flight. You got to try to go to the Olympics.
I've already
while you're
been
living in China.
Have you already been?
Don't you worry.
Oh man, yeah. You gotta. We can meet for a little brutal sushi and soccer.
Yes,
The Brutiful Olympics.
Sake and soccer. Let's start the planning now.
That was pretty awesome.
Don't say those words if you don't mean them, Ferris.
Hold on. I actually
tease me.
don't mean them. At Epcot here, the whole drinking around the world, it always goes downhill when you hit Japan and start doing that sake because it's about halfway between around the world and
Could you, I can't even formulate sentences because that idea sounds so good to me.
love it. Done.
Freaking love it.
That's a great idea.
Oh my goodness.
That's a great idea.
Is it?
Wow.
Wow.
But yeah, I have a tough time picking favorites out of this particular run. Crystal Dunn, we said it a bit earlier.
Kristen Press, I didn't even mention her off the bench. Holy
So
how amazing is
far,
she?
we've been talking, what are we on the timer? Like 25 minutes?
31, but
31.
a little beer talk there.
And we haven't talked about an attacking player. Like an out and out
that's what's
attacking
crazy.
player.
We haven't even gotten to those.
Press, right? Exactly.
Right. We have but Crystal Dunn lacking the defensive tactical awareness.
The defensive mindset.
So instead, she just, to me, I watched her play and I just thought, instead she was like, okay, I'm not going to get that overnight. I'm just going to get in your face the whole
Just going to work my ass off and just do everything.
Her
Absolutely.
physical fitness was amazing because she did just stay a thorn in someone's side constantly.
Yeah.
Times when you thought she'd get burnt on the side, but she'd get back in their face so that she could disrupt the play.
And she had superior positioning on every offensive player that came her way. Because every time a ball was tried to slip through, she was right on it. She was just great. And I kept waiting for us to get burned on that side, and we didn't.
Well, so you bring up a good point. I mean, do we talk about our attacking players? I fell in love with the people that were playing midfield defense so much this go around. Like,
I agree. I mean, well, yeah, and we should, because the two attacking players that are probably most prominent in the tournament, and Alex Morgan and Megan Rapinoe.
Oh, she had the
They made this first goal in the final happen.
well, and for Megan Rapinoe, this is, well, she didn't make it happen, right?
Alex Morgan did. Yeah.
Although, if I'm going to be fair, I will argue VAR made it happen. I do think this is one of those that I don't know if it gets called without VAR.
True.
But I'm not complaining in the sense that you said it. As soon as it went to VAR, you're like, it's going to be a penalty
Yeah,
because
I came over to you
they've
guys
been
and, yep.
so consistent. I'll
just
say
knew
that.
it. You
They
just
were
knew it.
so consistent with the VAR that it didn't bother me that it was a penalty. If it had been on the other foot, I'd have freaked out, but it still would have been consistent. And it was against the England game.
Yeah.
That's against England. That would have been called. And I actually was listening to Men in Blazers podcast, and Davo actually did mention, like, it's interesting because the theory is if there was an error in judgment on the play, you go to VAR, or something was hard to tell, right? You go to the VAR. But they're still not watching it at speed. They're watching it in slow motion.
Right.
They're watching a moment that doesn't indicate the entire happening, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? So I guess one way to say do it correctly is to literally do it that way. Go, sorry, it's in slow-mo. I'm going to judge it off what I see. And while I would never have seen that if it wasn't in slow motion, so it's an interesting argument between those who are pro and against the VAR. But it was consistent through the tournament, so I really don't have much of a problem with it because it was consistent.
I don't either, but it was caused by Alex Morgan because the way that she positioned her body and the way she attacked the box, and also the way that she went down.
Well, and the girl's foot got high.
It was high. It was high, and it wasn't called a penalty on the spot, but you're right. Because of VAR, somebody was in her ear going, you need to have another look at that. And when she did, again, I walked over to you guys and I'm like, that's going to be a penalty because they have called that pretty consistently throughout the tournament. But then Megan Rapinoe steps up and she's already bagged herself, 3 or 4 penalty kicks?
Ferris likes to say, cool as you like.
Yeah,
Cool as the other side of the pillow.
That's what I was going to
Hashtag
say.
Stuart Scott. in the World Cup final. Down 0-0. You've been frustrated all game because you haven't had a goal at all. And she steps up. And really wasn't her best penalty all in all, but she slotted it home. Kind of slightly to the right and just, you're right, cool as you like, just slotted it home.
But I think
like it was a training ground
Yes.
practice.
But the other side of that is that veteran was in that goalkeeper's head so hard, she didn't move.
Correct.
Yeah, she
just didn't know. And what's the best guess? Right.
Well, statistically, it's better for you to never move as a keeper because the balls that come more toward the center of the net are more than the ones that go to the corner.
Right.
So it's statistically better for you not to move.
And it wasn't, and the ball that Rapinoe hit wasn't to the corner. It was just slight to the right, but it was hit with a lot of
5
pace.
foot to the left of her, maybe.
It was hit with a lot of speed on it.
Low, just like real low.
And so had she probably guessed the right way, her feet may have gotten, her legs may have, but I don't know if her legs are stopping it. They may hit her legs because the ball was hit that hard.
And then rebound.
Well, yeah.
And you're in trouble. Ron's favorite thing off the
right.
Rebound.
There it is. And then, gentlemen, I don't know. The second time in this tournament, I jumped out of my seat. Rose Lavelle, wherever if you ever listen to this podcast, you and anybody you're with, stand up right now and take a bow. And everybody else around her, just bow down at her feet and just kiss her feet.
Take a knee, man.
Just holy shit. What a play by Rose Lavelle. Just a darting, weaving, powerful run up the center to then cross it back and just bury the ball.
On the opposite side. She
Yes.
turns her defender back and forth 2 or 3 times. Then she shifts it over to her left and cranks it to the right. And it was effortless looking. Just beautiful.
I mean, I got it up now and I'm watching it again, and it is just a marauding run down the center, right at the heart of the Dutch defense. She turns her defenders and then lashes it with her left foot.
Doesn't she steal the ball first?
She just looked at somebody and the ball landed at her feet.
It was
I
amazing.
don't think she stole it.
Just boom.
She's a noir star.
There was a turnover.
There was, yeah. I don't know if it was caused by her, because it doesn't quite show that far back in what I'm watching. But just absolute one of the best strikes I've ever seen. Not to mention, this is on World Cup final stage. This puts the nail in the coffin in the 69th, and just what a goal from now. Keep in mind, Rapinoe, Lavelle, both doubts going into this game, right? Both on the injured list, and Lavelle wasn't sat out in the England game. Rapinoe was, but Lavelle came off and subbed, and both were doubts going into this game. And guess what? Both got the goals. Jill Ellis, well done.
Oh yeah, I mean.
Yeah, the coaching staff, the fitness of our team was just incredible. You never saw anyone who was just kind of
and what was so cool, you know, we're sitting there at this pub in Orlando although being Orlando, I would say mostly locals were in this bar.
Yeah.
I would say because
at least 28 of them were because they were with us.
Yeah, but it was a ton of locals. You just tell the vibe, you know. It wasn't tour. Well, especially because of the way they showed up, ready to. They knew what was going on, but the vibe in that bar, man, was so great. The people cheering and like
it was packed.
A great video of my little one like applauding as soon as the whistle blew and people went crazy. It was awesome. Like I have been, every time I think about it, I have been floating on cloud 9 since then. And what was amazing was kind of roll into, you know, all the stuff they were doing online, then the New York Parade and the ESPYs on ESPN. You're just like, it just never stopped. Like it
shouldn't. Like what they did. Keep in mind, they went into this tournament as one of the favorites, but a lot of
pressure,
political
pressure.
Yeah.
Fighting for equal pay pressure. Like a lot of stuff off the pitch that didn't have to do with the game. So there's just a lot of stuff that you could have looked back if a loss had occurred and said, there's where there was that crack that got into the team. And it just didn't happen.
No, and then even the first game, 13-0, and they get slammed. Was that right? Should they have done that? Should they have run the score? This is a World Cup. You need to be more professional. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
And
They put their head down and they work their asses off.
How can you be more professional than winning it?
Yeah.
Right?
Right. And that was the thing. They put their heads, while they had personality in France, while they were talking to the media, they were on social media. It looked like they were having fun.
They were doing interviews on morning talk shows.
Right. While they're playing. But every game, they put up or they shut up.
Here's your Premier League vortex. Leicester City on their crazy run was so fun to watch play because they had a blast. That was the feeling of watching this team play, was the love and joy that they shared amongst each other. I mean, the way the team went bananas for Rose Lavelle when she scored.
Yeah.
You would have thought it was like extra time and they just won the game at that moment. The way they freaked out for her was more. It was less about them now being 2 goals ahead and more for her, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It was just the camaraderie, and it will be. We've had amazing women's national teams here in the U.S. I think this will be a rare one for that. The chemistry, and
there's like 24 sisters,
because it's even after the way they are, in New York, the way they're off the cuff doing their goofy stuff on social media and everything.
And that's it. They did it in the age that we're in of social media and the pressure that comes, and the bullies sitting in their mom's basement typing stuff, and Trump sending him tweets. They did it amongst all of that in the in the spotlight. They dared the shot, and they were there the entire time, front and center, put in the work, had personality while they did it, and had a blast doing it.
But you know where that is also just super brilliant, not to be cynical about it, because I genuinely do think that they're having like a great time, but don't worry about having your battle for equal pay in arbitration with the U.S. Soccer Federation. Do it in the public court of opinion.
And just put in this
and
tape.
Do it like
the 90-minute tape of the final.
But I mean, the games, the reaching out to fans on social media, people going, pay these people what they are worth.
Absolutely.
As they already released the numbers, they've actually made more money than the men did in the same the last 4 years. They brought in more money. So,
so that whole
it's not even an argument.
Thing is dispelled now about, well, the men bring in more money.
And did you see the speech that Rapinoe gave at the parade in New York?
Yeah.
I love how you're like, is that off the cuff? I mean, it definitely feels off the cuff, but she hit everything that you needed to hit. But she did her Rapinoe way. Like, she wasn't up there like a politician. But I was just like, man, in that moment, I think I would have needed a note card or something. But when she was like to the U.S. Soccer Federation president, she was like, and forgive me, I forget his name off the top of my head. But
it's not Galati.
No, not Galati.
That's the only person.
Carlos Cordero.
Yeah, but she said, you got up here and you got a bunch of stick from everybody booing you. But hey, I'm thank you too. And I put my hat behind you because we've had talks.
So they're not suing him.
You're gonna help us do the right thing. You're gonna help make the right. And she was very cool, and I like that. She was like, you were in the tunnel every game.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
There.
That he's out there doing there. Yeah. So to me, that says.
But it also puts a bunch of pressure on him, right? So she did it. Yes, without question, your point is 100% there. But the way she did it, saying like, I believe in you because you're going to help us do the right thing. Yeah. Like, that puts a lot of pressure on him from the public side to actually do the right thing.
Let's get even more Machiavellian. Did he want that because now he can take that back to the people he's got to fight with to make it happen? You know what I mean?
Certainly.
I think he welcomes that.
I think he put himself in the position, is what I mean, to be there for it.
I think he welcomes that. Because again, they're not suing him. They're suing
US
Yeah, right. Okay.
She was so funny, though. She's like, thank this person. Mayor de Blasio. Then she's like, Governor Cuomo. Is that right? Is that how you say it? Right. And he's like, yeah, she was, all right. Like, it just was.
And you know damn well she would not have done that if Galati was still president.
No,
not
they
at all.
They just said like he can't be here. But his react. Now I know he's in the public, like you say, Ron, when it's happening. But even his reaction to what she was saying, I was like, I think he wanted this. I think this helps him. I don't know, because the argument, to be honest, it's all on the paper. It'd be one thing if you'd go, well, yeah, but they made a third of what the guys brought in. That's not what happened. Not they brought in as in pay, but I mean, they generated revenue for the U.S. soccer. They have done more than the men in the last 4 years as far as total number. Oh, you have a little bit. We're going to have a little last of the champagne beer?
Yeah.
All right, man.
Oh, is it 4?
It's just, it's a 4.
There you go. That's
So,
good.
I mean,
That's
the
good.
conversation's good,
That's
so
good.
we'll keep the, I actually
Let's do it over here, not over the computer.
That's true. I poured a little. Okay. There we go. I might have had, well. That's about even.
Okay. Yeah, we're good. We're good here. We're all good.
Yeah,
Good.
We're good here. How are you? Well,
We're all fine down here.
We're all fine down here.
We're having a slight brute champagne IPA malfunction. We're all fine here. How are you?
Joey!
But it's just there. The way she talked about the team at that speech, the way they reacted, the way they cheered her on. It just, like you said, it does not seem like it is a chore for them to be around each other at all.
Nope.
I think it will be a while before you see a team. You may see a team technically better. You may see the more younger Rose Lavelle types come in and go, that is an actual better team of elite players overall. But as chemistry goes, man, this is going to be hard to top.
Yeah, that's...
And former 99ers were saying that.
Yeah.
A lot of players were just like, this is special. This team, not just for what they're doing on the pitch, but just the overall.
And they will elevate the talent across the world.
Guys, how many 6-year-old girls right now are like, Dad, Mom, send me to soccer camp?
Not even that.
Wanna,
how many national teams? Spain's national team. Argentina's national team. England's national team. How many of them are going to look and be like, that's what we want to do. That's where we want to be. We need to work to do that. How many soccer federations are looking at them, not necessarily the U.S. Soccer Federation, but at this team and going, how do we get here? How do we get to this type of success?
How do we compete on the international level?
So massive.
Can we just keep talking about? Let's talk back through the game again. Let's start over. We're gonna start over.
Do it.
We
can't. We're gonna go through some awards and then how we did and all that. So yeah,
it just puts me in the best mood. So freaking proud of this team. They're just amazing. Amazing.
So I have some stats that we can guess real quick.
Do it.
This is actually
Statman
pretty
run.
fun. Dun, 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 dun. How many goals do you think were scored in the FIFA Women's World Cup?
In total.
Is it? Are we guessing like closest to the hole here?
Yes.
Okay. 51.
That's low. 73.
51? Did you say 51 considering the U.S. had 13 in one match?
That's why I said that's low.
We had 26 overall. Other folks didn't score as much.
That's true. Wait, what the hell did I just guess? 73?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're both way underestimating.
God, we suck.
146 goals.
Holy shnikes.
I think after the ladies scored 13, I just thought no one else is really scoring, right?
There's no other goals in the
There's no other
tournament.
goals.
How many yellow cards given out in the tournament?
Ooh. 51.
63.
124.
God, we suck at this game.
I just felt like it was a well called tournament. I don't remember seeing a ton of, but I guess
Who had the as a team? Who had the most yellow cards given throughout the tournament?
England.
Oh man. Germany.
Brazil.
There we go.
Oh, that had been another, yeah.
11 in 4 matches.
Yes. Good for them.
4 matches. Damn.
Too bang.
I mean, the Brazilians were.
I loved
pretty
Marta
rough.
hitting the pitch with her like stone cold face and that bright red lipstick.
Yeah, right.
That was
I
pretty
was
great.
like, you
Damn,
are
girl.
so badass. Like she just looked like she was ready to chew a wall down, but like afterwards we could like go out to the club. It's just like,
yeah.
but still like she'd kick your
Whoop
ass.
the shit out of you and then, yeah.
All right.
She's awesome.
Have some champagne at the club.
Last guess. The top 3 teams in order you think scored the most goals.
U.S. number 1. I think we all.
Say that again.
The top 3 teams in order that scored the most goals.
U.S.,
England.
U.S., France, England.
U.S., England, Australia.
26 for the USA.
Yeah, right.
13 for England.
Yeah, it's got for first 2.
12 for Sweden.
I was gonna go Sweden. Samson. Way off.
Netherlands with 11.
I was
Germany with 10. France with 10. Australia comes in at 8th with 9.
Yeah.
So there you go. Some fun little stats.
Like it.
Pork slap stats.
Speaking of stats, Golden Boot. Guess who?
Well, Golden Boot goes to Miss Megan Rapinoe by assists, right? Or does she actually have one more goal?
Oh, her and Alex Morgan both had 6 goals and 3 assists.
Oh, if it stayed goal. No.
She scored those 6 goals in less time in games than any of the 3. And also, not Lucy Bronze.
What a good way to lose that.
Ellen White also had 6 goals and then a few assists. So I actually think they all had 6 goals and 3 assists. But she scored them in the least amount of time playing. She was also the Golden Ball winner, which best player of the tournament. Rose Lavelle. Ellen White for England got the silver ball, and then our Noir star Rose Lavelle got the bronze ball. So good for her. Golden Glove. I'm going to pass the name over to Ron because you said it so good earlier.
Sorry.
No, that is right.
Vinadal.
But sorry,
Vinadal.
Yeah, that's really sorry. I was like, wait.
No, that's actually right.
I was looking at something else, so you caught me off
but
guard.
she won the Golden Glove for the tournament, and then the FIFA Young Player. Blake, help me out.
I think it's just Julia Gwynn, but it doesn't sound very German.
It doesn't, yeah.
But yes.
Julia Gwynn.
Who scored Germany's first goal of the World Cup?
And everybody said this woman is going to be a friggin' star.
Yeah.
She's very young too. Was she 8?
No. She was actually an older one. She was 20 years old, I saw. The ones in the past tournaments, Kadisha Buchanan from Canada was like 17 or 18, and then whoever was before that was 16 or 17. I tried to get our brackets on here. I'm gonna let you know we did a poor job, but you know what we did do? We all got the damn thing right. We all picked the USA, so that's all that matters.
But none of us picked the Netherlands.
Nope.
None of us picked the Netherlands. I don't know. Again, we kind of messed it all up, but. I think I had Canada going against them.
You had initial time, England, and our lives were
Germany.
Very crazy.
True.
We just sucked. It's okay.
Yeah, we did.
In terms of the dark horse teams, nobody really won because Blake and I had Blake had Scotland, I had Jamaica. Ron kind of came the closest with Norway. They did pretty good. Lost to England, so okay, not a true dark horse team, but. A lot of people's dark horse team in this, the Netherlands, did get very far, but didn't win the whole thing. Biggest shock of the tournament, Ron thought England would not make it out of the group. That certainly did not happen. I thought Brazil didn't make it out of the group. That certainly didn't happen. And then Blake, Germany would get knocked out at the round of 16. You were closest, not quite the round of 16, but knocked out in the quarters.
Although, to be honest, that opening game against China, it looked like my prediction
little dicey.
Was like
little dicey. Yep. Golden Boots, Ron and Blake both had Sam Kerr. She did not win, but I think she had 4 or 5 goals. I'm not mistaken. She came in
just pretty close,
like 4th or 5th because it was the third way tie. And then I had Rose Lavelle. I was probably the closest on this because she did have a good number of goals, but she also won the bronze ball. But none of us actually got any of them.
I don't think any of us would have picked Megan Rapinoe. I mean, she's the lady that you go. She's going to have a ton of assists. She's going to score.
Well, why did none of us pick Alex Morgan either?
I just think the way the ladies had been playing and distributing the ball, I didn't know if we would have. I didn't necessarily know if the Golden Boot winner was going to be on our team.
Right.
Because I thought they were going to spread it around.
I'm sorry, Ron, you did not have Sam Kerr. You were thinking Sam Kerr, but when Blake chose that, you were like, oh, crap, I got to go with a different one. And you went with Wendy Renard as well. So
which also a really good pick.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Did you say that Brazil wasn't going to make it out of group?
That's what I said, yeah.
They didn't.
They made it out of the group stages. They lost to...
Because they were one of the
lost to France in the round of 16.
Were they one of the thirds that
went
to...
No, No, they
go second?
Yeah, they went in. But yeah, they lost to France in the round of 16 before. France beat them to play us after we beat Spain.
Oh,
Yes.
you're right. You're right.
Yeah. And then, okay, gents, as we usually do at the end of a season of tournament, some questions to ask.
Take it away.
What was your favorite game of the tournament?
Favorite game.
Ooh, this is easy for me.
I mean, this is going to be so lopsided, guys. It could be very U.S. lopsided, I'm sure. But most of you listening tend to be from the U.S., so it's all good.
I think mine is actually pretty evenly distributed, to be honest.
Mine, for me, one of the best games I've seen in a very long time, USA and England. What a freaking game. Got 2-1 down to the
scrappy
VARs, PKs, controversial calls, T-sipping,
red card,
good goals, red card. Yeah, just what a fun match. Penalty kick save, like just, wow, what a fun match.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Mine is USA France.
Okay.
I mentioned the game earlier. This is going to sound weird, but right, it was Germany's opening game against China, right? That was the opening game. And China came
in the round. I was in the round of 16. Yeah, not in of the tournament, but it was in
the group stage, right? Yeah,
Germany, China.
Yeah.
Okay.
And China gave Germany this big run for the money. And the reason I go back to that game is that early in the run of the World Cup for me is that game was the one that made me go, "Ooh, this is gonna be a good tournament," because it just like Germany. You kind of, even though they don't necessarily have the team they've had, this is a game they destroyed China. And China came to play. So,
yeah.
And then, you know what?
Second game of the tournament.
And then there were other teams that did prove that point, like Italy and stuff, who did not come in well thought of necessarily, that made a big impact and stuff. So
they won their first.
Yeah. So that was a, I'm going to go German because it got me excited for the tournament. Yeah.
I like it. Cool. All right. Favorite goal of the tournament. Mine's easy. I just talked about it 2, 3, 4, half an hour ago. Rose Lafelle's goal. What a phenomenal goal.
Ugh.
If she was here, I would bow down to her and kiss her feet for that goal. Holy mackerel.
What a goal. I don't know how to not pick that.
England had some great goals in this
That
tournament.
is my favorite.
Okay, there you go.
So I have the Lucy Bronze.
Yeah. What a strike.
She gets a free kick from Mead. It is a grass cutter of a indirect free kick. She runs onto that ball and has pace and poise and puts it right between the outstretched fingers of the goalkeeper and the underside of the bar, and it just plants into that goal. What a great goal.
Yeah, you're right.
It was just flawless.
With everything going on externally as well, that calm, cool as you like PK by Megan Rapinoe, that was like, okay, I will win. And we all know who she was responding to.
Ron got a little choked up there.
It was so cool and calm and confident, like a freaking samurai slice. And it had more going on it behind just the ball going in that net. Yeah, I'll go with that one.
I like it.
The will of a nation helping her put that ball in the net.
Well, one other like notable shout for me was it wasn't necessarily the best technical goal or the most stylish, but Kristen Press coming in for the non on the bench, non-starting Megan Rapinoe and getting that first goal early in the England game. What that meant for her and the team was fantastic.
Oh, that's another really good one.
She's one of my favorites of all time. And
she scored with her head.
So happy for her. And she did it was just, great. But
we just pick 4?
Sure. Let's keep going around there. Let's come on.
I mean, there's a bunch of incredible
there's
goals.
So many.
It's actually really hard to pick.
So many. The Thailand goal. You could have easily said that. How cool is that? Their nation's first, like it just absolutely.
And then Our Ladies, who was it that gave them the props for that?
Sam Kerr.
Sam Kerr.
That's right.
She was in a presser and they
tournament.
were asking about her being inspired. And she said, that's how I get inspired.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, gents, carrying over from our Premier League, Trace Mementos. 3 of your favorite moments of the tournament.
We're all
of your favorite moments.
There's no way we don't just name. Maybe we'll name 4 because we all pick so many of the same things. Dude. I mean, sorry, England, but tipping or tea sipping was it's pretty awesome. Because that's just not the reason it's awesome.
Okay,
is it's because Rapinoe does it. It's not something I expect out of Alex Morgan necessarily. And I just loved it.
And did you see this? And I kind of felt bad for England, but it's also hysterical. Ellen White in the third place game scored a goal and thought she was going to be cute and do the tea sipping.
And then they called it
back as a VAR.
They got caught. Yep.
I loved watching England and I loved the Lionesses, but
you might have just stolen my second favorite.
Did you? Oh, that was. We didn't talk about the third place game. And
because it was like, yeah, you don't be you. Don't be us.
It was like the highlight of the third place game, unfortunately. Like it was like, oh.
And that was the moment you could see England just deflate.
Yeah, they
and I feel bad because Phil Neville and the team had wow.
We talked about it in the previous pod saying, well, England should win this game. Well, unless this just really deflated them. And it feels like that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, exactly.
They had a spirited first half and a terrible
Sweden was great though.
Yeah. And and how about that like Scott Sterling face save off the goal line by that Sweden defender? How awesome was that?
Wow. Scott Sterling on purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so your other.
Well, we don't have to go all three in one round. Ron, go with your first.
So Alex Morgan's That's the Tea celebration. You guys saw all that. What's her name from? God, I can't remember her name from. Game of Thrones came out.
Who defended her? Yeah.
Yeah. And
took time off of her honeymoon. Just
Yep.
Arya Stark, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And
which was pretty great.
And we got one of the best images known to man that was put together by the Bleacher Report, I believe.
With Captain America in the back.
Captain America, Budweiser, a bald eagle, the American flag, a hot dog with ketchup and mustard on it, and an apple pie in the background.
That's brilliant.
I mean, and they can get upset, but it was really close to Independence Day, Boston Tea Party. I mean, there's just so many things layered into this situation.
Okay, we're gonna go chalk here because all right, take that moment away.
Okay,
now a new fresh three.
Oh, geez,
because.
Was that your?
It was going to be. I didn't know I was going to go to it, and then I saw that picture, and it makes me so happy. So
screw it then.
It's like fine. All right, that's all of our three. Go ahead.
My next one is Marta becomes the all-time scoring leader.
Oh, good one. That's a good one.
The celebration was incredible, and it's so good to see our. When I say hometown. I mean, she plays here for the Orlando Pride. But to see her go out and...
Yeah.
And someone else who was very outspoken about the national team in her own country and, hey...
Stop worrying about your Instagram. Oh, she was great.
Yeah.
She was great.
What did you say about that?
So she was giving her team a lot of stick because during practice and... like all the time, they're more worried about taking Instagram pictures and the social media aspect, and they were being lazy in the road up to the World Cup tournament. They lost games they shouldn't have lost. They just weren't performing. So she went out in the media and called them all out. And
interesting, right? Because we were talking about how cool that was for the U.S. national team. But I guess the trick is you can do it if you're winning.
Yeah, if you're winning, you can do all this other crap.
Yeah.
If you're not,
shut up.
Yeah,
you have to
every single game.
Oh, yeah. What's that old thing you tell the kids like, hey, just do your work and then you can have your fun. That's how our team treated it. What was your second there, Ferris?
Mine was Alyssa Nayer's save in the PK against England. Because I've only had one other moment in soccer that I can vividly just remember. You guys are, I think you guys are sitting behind me, but when we were watching at World of Beer, I literally jumped out of my seat.
Oh, that's what I said. I watch it buzzed.
Yeah.
So I knew, and I looked, and I just froze. I didn't want to give it away.
I jumped out of my seat with excitement.
And I got to see you.
I was so stoked.
I had the best view of you. Your 7-foot freaking giraffe self almost went to that roof.
Yeah, I was so stoked. The only other time I've had that kind of feeling was when Landon Donovan put that ball in against Algeria, and I was downtown at the Kelt before soccer was like nobody knew, and the Celt was packed of just USA fans, and that goal went in. That was another just amazing feeling. But I'm not going to, yeah. But what, and I was so because I was happy because not only the team that we so love and that I support, and that it was almost validation that we were going to win the game, but that also the hell with Hope Solo.
Well, that's
Alyssa Nair put her name out there.
It's a tough shadow to overcome. Hope Solo's one of the best goalies ever played the game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, again, as I go back to saying, not as good of a defense necessarily as we had in 2015, but somehow was better.
Solid. Just consistently solid. So that was my second.
What was your second or your third?
My second. Have you done your second?
I haven't done my third. My second was the England
one.
Yeah. My third is something we just said, but is something we said a second ago, but actually it's not the goal itself. So Thailand scoring its goal was awesome moment. And like what with Sam Kerr, that was great. But the reminder, especially when you get the joy, the luxury of being in the country that's kicking a ton of butt and expected to go very far and possibly win in the U.S., so we didn't have that feeling of like, oh my God, I just hope we can do something, right? Like we felt that way before about the men's national team.
I was going to say we do that all the time with the men's team.
But that's not the position we were in. But the the positive media coverage given to the Thailand goal, especially considering the record-breaking loss they received and that was all that was in the news for the U.S., reminded you that even when they were losing 13-0, Thailand was so happy to be in the damn tournament. And that whole thing of like what soccer can be and those cool moments we see in the World Cup where like for no reason Russia goes way further than they ever should have in their home country, right? That was, but the positive media coverage, because obviously we're in the U.S., so it's very slanted, was really awesome. And the response to Thailand getting its gold kind of reminds you what's so cool about the game. The fact that unlike many other sports, you don't need expensive equipment. You need something that's kind of like a net and something that's kind of like a ball, and anybody can go play it. And it just was awesome. I don't know. Remind me what's cool about soccer in general.
Here.
Mine is the same thing. I have written down Jamaica's very first ever World Cup goal and Thailand's very first ever World Cup goal.
Look at that.
I like it.
Great minds thinking alike.
I like it.
Jamaica, that's another good one.
Again, not the most technically amazing goals or anything like that, but
they did it.
The pure satisfaction on both of those teams, knowing that they busted their humps, they got all the way over into the World Cup, and they were so outrageously happy to just score a goal.
And then FIFA announces, we think we might expand the Women's World Cup like we did with the men's game.
Right.
So now if you're Thailand and you're Jamaica, you go, you know what? That gives us 4 years to get back in and do a bit better.
If we did this, if you're
you know what I mean? Like,
if you're Spain, if you're Norway, if you're the Netherlands.
I agree, but I just mean that Jamaica and Thailand, do you know what I mean? Like, especially Jamaica, right? They had to get all that help to even get their team back to existence.
Argentina,
it's a cool thing to think about. Like, hey, like this doesn't need to have to be a one-shot thing.
Right. Scotland, same thing.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Oh, that's my 3.5. That freaking brutal recall of that and re-kicking that penalty. Ugh.
I'm gonna go a little sentimental here.
I think we kind of all were a little sentimental in that one.
Mine wasn't necessarily the games played or moments from the game. Mine was more moments about how we watched the game. We watched the France game, England game, and the final at World of Beer and Dr. Phillips. And I'm proud to say they weren't prepared for the fans that showed up there.
No, they did not expect.
We're talking a Monday afternoon game, a Sunday afternoon game, and a Sunday morning game. And I was just so, not only to be with you guys and watch all 3 of those, but to be with a lot of our friends and family in the area that I don't know if 4 years ago. Remember where we watched the World Cup final 4 years ago?
I don't remember that.
I think it was right
Was it
here.
our house?
We're right out there.
Right in my house.
Could we have gone to a bar and done that 4 years ago?
I mean,
I'm not so sure.
not like that.
No,
like,
not
we
like
could
that.
have gone, but like, yeah,
We could have, right?
Not we had friends going, hey, are you going somewhere to watch the game? And we go, I didn't. Yeah, we're gonna. That's the crazy thing to me. All
It
people
was. We set up watch parties.
Yeah,
I
to
was
watch
so
them there.
surprised how. So myself and a friend of mine, Roberto, we kind of started the watch party for the USA, the first one.
France, England.
No, because I had watched more matches there.
the game prior to the
gotcha, yeah.
the France
I'd
one,
watched
yes.
the last 3
I
there.
couldn't
for
make
sure.
that one. Yeah.
So we started there, and like 10 people showed up, and then once the US was through, more people joined, and then more people joined, and it became this.
it became, can we get a table together? No, we just need to get this half of the restaurant together.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And because of how the World of Beer is set up, it's actually beautiful for that. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you just mingle and hang
TVs
out
everywhere.
and watch-
Yeah.
I can't believe how fast that blew up.
God, do you know
I
what's
thought it was
scary?
awesome. And they did. And when we were watching it there at World of Beer across town, the Kelp, I heard, had a line out the door and around the block to get in to watch the game. Lake Eola had a showing on the lake there on that
The Orlando
big screen.
City Pride one, too. The Orlando Pride one had one. Yeah.
Yeah, that is just awesome.
It's funny that
so awesome.
You because when you did mention the anti-tea sipping moment that occurred, I was like, dang it, that's my second. What crossed my mind though was us being able to hang out, and actually watch those final 3 games that were again great games. I mean, it was fun to to watch the final here with you guys, but it was this was
a
such
different atmosphere when you're in
Yeah.
and a lot of people that yes, we're our friends and whatnot, but we didn't know the others.
No,
But and they were still just fans of the US and just so cool.
I love it. Oh my God.
No,
I can just wrap myself up in the blanket
A
of
little
it.
World Cup blanket.
Like,
with a
oh,
World Cup blanket.
oh my God.
And then lastly, what will be remembered most of this tournament? I wasn't going to ask this because I think the answer we all have is just the insanely incredible women of the U.S. women's national team.
Actually, mine is not that.
Okay.
I already said, I think it will be a long time before we look back at the chemistry, the totality of a team coming together like this, whether there's better talent. I just don't know if you'll see a group come together, but that out of the way, since I already said that, our new superstar, Rose Lavelle, we know it's not her beginning. We've been following along, but for the world, I think this is where her superstardom starts. I think that's one thing that'll be remembered.
The beginning of stardom.
Yeah.
For her, maybe.
Yeah, this is chapter 1 in the noir detective novel.
Mine is, so if you're a fan, I actually have 2.
Love it.
Right? Because if you're a fan who watches this, I think you have a different takeaway than people who came new to it.
Right.
Right? So if you're a fan, it's how competitive the tournament really was.
Yeah.
And that it wasn't just 1 or 2 or 3 teams just running away with it, right? You had surprises like the Netherlands, like Italy, like Spain. You did not expect them to do as well as they did.
Yeah.
Cameroon, was it Cameroon? Yeah, Cameroon making it out of group play. That's huge for them, right? So I don't know. I think the tournament was so ridiculously.
It'd be hard to another. You hope it happens. It's gonna be hard to have another good, very competitive
Yeah.
tournament like this.
Yeah,
Filled with such good games.
And if you're a casual fan and of the U.S., I think it's the 13 goals scored against Thailand.
That's crazy. It's true. Yeah,
it is a
Yeah.
tournament record. So I think that's what you kind of come away with.
Absolutely.
Did you have yours?
Yeah, I kind of said mine to begin with. I mean,
Rose Lavelle.
Yes. No. Yes. I think it's just the incredible women that made up the U.S. women's national team and what they were able to accomplish in this tournament, amongst a lot of the things that you said, Ron, with the talent that was out there and they had to go through the hardest side of the bracket to win this. And they still did it amongst
they went through
all
a bracket
the pressure
that,
and everything we've been talking about.
In any other tournament, that could have been the final game. Like,
yeah. On a very side note, and I don't want to get too much into it because I don't want. But I think VAR also a lot will come out of this tournament for leagues on how VAR is applied and when it's applied, such as the penalty kicks and so on and so forth. So I think that's kind of a small, much smaller.
I think leagues like Premier League, who'll be doing VR for the first time,
they've already said they're not doing.
Will be helped by this because of things they saw. And
Which is interesting because the past 2 World Cups, men's and men's was actually a pretty shining example of how VAR can be done.
And this one was very consistent.
Right.
That one was great. If it was fast for the men's, wasn't necessarily always consistent. This one was very consistent. So if you kind of look at the two, though, that's a pretty good back-to-back for the 2 World Cups. Like I think that VAR going forward is going to be a much easier part of the game. Yeah. Does this mean have we exhausted our World Cup conversation?
I think
no, but for the pod, because that'll be going forever.
Gents, you know what we haven't exhausted yet on the pod?
What's that?
I kind of failed to mention. I have another beer.
You let us get this long?
Dun, dun,
damn right, let's get this long.
Oh, Jesus.
Name your sex tape.
Heyo.
Cool.
I feel like making a lot of noise for
a whole nother beer.
What do you got? It sounds like you're playing like drum roll.
So I have a Post-it note that was written about the beer. Michael Ferris, 727-365, and I won't say the rest because Lord knows what kind of hate calls I'll get. 7/8, the date, 2:30, driving from Orlando.
Where was this Post-it note?
On this 4-pack of beer, Ron.
Oh my God, that's amazing. That's brilliant.
Oh, I got to get my camera out. Oh my God.
You at home are probably wondering what beer I just pulled out. Little backstory before we tell you the name of the beer.
So,
go ahead.
Go ahead. I love that Ron.
He's running outside to show.
He's going to run outside and show his girlfriend. So, that's amazing. So, at some point, I forget why, something comes up and Ron drops the name Fudgy the Whale. And I'm like, what? And then he goes, in Cookie Puss. And we're like, what the hell did you just say? Is this? Which he then has explained, like, when you guys were kids, your birthday parties, like you never had Fudgy the Whale or Cookie Puss? No, in rural North Carolina. No. I had no friggin' idea.
Not in Florida either.
All of our New York, New Jersey fans are all going, yeah, what about it?
Exactly, what about it? So, Ron, would you please enlighten everybody what Cookie Puss and Fudgy the Whale is?
There is a company named Carvel Ice Cream, which is kind of a New York, New Jersey staple. New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. And when I was a kid, it was a great thing to have your birthday party, and it was an ice cream cake made by Carvel Ice Cream. One of them was in the shape of a whale made out of fudge, and it was Fudgy the Whale. And then the other one was this really weird looking, like, clown kind of thing, and that was Cookie Puss. And so it's just the way the two ice cream cakes are made. And that's
but describe what Cookie Puss looks like.
So Cookie Puss has these really big kind of googly eyes that are oblong. There's a ice cream cone that is the cone starts up by the eyes. The tip of the cone starts up by the eyes and then flares out like lower with an ice cream scoop on it to be the nose.
Right. It looks like a demon from a child's hell.
looks like if you just did some like meth or something and then saw this on the screen, you'd be
let's
terrified.
give the official word. Cookie Puss is an ice cream cake character created by Carvel in the 70s as an expansion of its line of freshly made exclusive products, along with Hug Me Bear and Fudgy the Whale.
Yep.
The cake is fashioned with a clown face, as Ron said, that uses cookies for eyes and an ice cream cone for the nose. According to Carvel's backstory for the character, and this is where we discover
this is weird because he's a space alien.
Cookie Puss is a space alien who was born on planet Birthday. His original name was Celestial Person, but with the initial CP, he later became known as Cookie Puss. In his television commercials, Cookie Puss has the ability to fly, though he requires a saucer-shaped spacecraft for interplanetary travel.
Clearly.
I mean, obviously.
Duh.
During the 80s, Cookie Puss was repurposed to serve on a cake for St. Patrick's Day, dubbed Cookie-O Puss,
Which I had both.
which continues to be sold annually. If that doesn't sound like two dudes were smoking it up in the 70s, like, whoa, no, dude, he totally flies.
Bro.
How's he going to fly to the planet? It's dude with a saucer. Duh. So, Ferris, would you regale us with the beer?
How did you get that?
So this is why when we were at Ivanhoe Park on Saturday, we were all talking about
What
this.
you guys say? What the name of this beer is?
So it is Cookie Puss birthday beer.
Because one of our friends, as we're searching for pictures of Cookie Puss, because people don't know what it is, listening to the story, someone says, "Oh, they have a beer,"
And we were like, no way.
we are. We were like, whoa, what?
Yeah. So we were all at Ivanhoe Park Brewing, and there was like, I don't know, 10 or 11 or 12 of us, and we were all BSing, and Cookie Puss came up, and it became a frantic...
Where we have to find this.
Right. Once somebody said that they have a beer, Ferris was on the phone, Blake was on the phone.
Because I assumed it was so specific. I'll check the brewery. Maybe you can order it.
So it's Captain Lawrence Brewing. I think it's in New York. Is that where Captain Lawrence Brewing is?
Yes, it's out of New York, I do believe.
Yeah, I think so. Founded in 2006, Captain Lawrence Brewing is Westchester's and Hudson Valley's largest craft brewery. Captain Lawrence boasts a 25,000 square foot brewery facility and a 2,500 square foot beer hall and 6,000 square foot outdoor beer garden.
Wow. And they make Cookie Puss.
So we freaked out.
Yes,
we're
we
like
did.
looking.
Searching
and then I go,
everywhere.
oh God, it says Total Wine may have it here. So search
In Altamont.
So I'm calling Orlando Total Wine. You called Altamont, or our friend
Kelly called Altamont.
I
called Clearwater.
Altamont. You called, yeah. We're all calling the Total Wines. First guy for me is like, well, what's the name? He's no, I just see. Wait a minute, I see something called Cookie P. I'm like, that's it. I think we got 2 4-packs. I'm so stoked. Then he comes back and finally, after like 10 minutes, like he was searching,
sold out.
God bless Total Wine. Love the service. He's like, man, we just sold the last ones. I'm like, what? And then Kelsey's like, oh,
same
the
thing
one in
happened to her.
Altamont. They sold the last one last week. I'm like,
it was Kelly.
Was it Kelly?
Kelly was the one that called
Kelly was one
Altamont.
called.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's
Kelly.
like, how was there a run on these the last second? Like,
'Cause it had just got released in like late June or May or something. Like it had just come out.
So we're
not too
all
long ago.
shot down.
It's especially.
But
Wow.
Ferris has got in touch with Brandon, and they tell him at the Brandon one.
So I called Clearwater. They said the same thing. They said, yeah, I think we have it. I said, can you double check for me? No. It looks like I text my mom. I'm like, Mom, can you go by the store tomorrow?
Ma Dukes was going to save us.
Right. Ma Dukes was going to save me. She gave me the thumbs up, or she gave me that. Like, yep, I'll check tomorrow.
Yeah, the
so then
okay
I was like,
symbol.
all right, before Ma Dukes drives out there, it's not too far from our house, but it's in countryside, not Clearwater. Anyways, I called and said, hey, can you double check and make sure you have this and stuff? No, we just sold the last ones. We're like, son of a bitch. So then I called the Brandon one. I go, hi, blah, 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 blah. They say, yes, we have it.
And I get a text from Ferris.
Yes. I come back to the table and I say, no, sorry, I didn't have it. But I sent him a text. Hang on, Brandon, have it. They suggested.
You sneaky bastards.
Hold on. They suggested that I go online and I put in an order, and that will save it in like their mythical beer room that they have.
So he texted me the order confirmation picture, screenshot.
So
And
then
he was like, don't say anything. We were just like,
So then-
oh yeah.
So then we leave Ivanhoe Park, and Blake was kind enough to give us the Pride tickets, and me and Nicole went to the Pride game. As we're walking into the Pride game, I turned around and I go, son of a bitch. I got an email saying, your order has been canceled, your card has not been charged. And I went, what the hell? So I respond back, and I'm like, I know I typed in my card right. The balance is good. Like, what the hell? They don't have it either.
So
I go into work a little bit on Monday. I usually don't work on Mondays. I go into work on Monday.
Picture you sent me.
So I go to the Total Wine in Orlando by me. And I check and see if they have it, just to do a once over. They confirm they don't have it. I then say, where else? Can you help me with this? Why was my order canceled? Oh, most times it's because of the card. I'm hoping it's because of the card. Maybe I typed it in wrong. She helped me out. She called the customer service, and it was not because of the card. They sold out of it as well in Brandon. And I was like, son of a... I was like, where else? She's like, well, Altamont wants to know. We tried Altamont. Like, I know they don't have it. She goes, well, how far are you looking to drive? And I'm like, whatever. She goes, well, the Daytona one is showing that they have it. We never called Daytona that night.
Right.
So then I then...
Did you drive to freaking Daytona?
Damn right I did. So I get home on Monday. And I'm heating up some leftover food, and I'm eating. I was the leftover pizza. Oh, 50% off because the Pride won the night before at Papa John's. Half off Papa John's, half off Papa John's. So I'm heating that up as I get home. It's about 2:00, and I call. Which one did I called one of them first because she said that they had it. It was the Altamont one, just to double confirm. I then called the Daytona one. The lady hops on, goes, "Hey, hold on a second. What is it?" Mind you have to call this place and with a very serious tone say, "I'm looking for a beer called Cookie Puss."
When I called, I said, it's called Cookie Puss. I know. Trust me, it's the name of an ice cream.
Right.
I like tried to explain myself.
Oh, that's brilliant.
He wouldn't
So
hang
then
up on
she
me.
then says, "Yes, we have it." I said, I said, "Okay, can you do me a big favor? Can you please confirm that you actually have it in the store for me?" She goes, "Give me a little bit. It's in the back of the store. I got to run back there and see if we have it." Meanwhile, I'm like eating my pizza thinking, all right, this is the last ditch effort here. We've tried Clearwater, Brandon, wherever
All
else.
of Central Florida.
She then comes back and she goes, well, we don't have as many as I thought, but we have one single 4-pack left. I said, ma'am, I dropped my pizza and I go, can you do me a huge favor? I know this may not be, but can you just put it behind the counter? I will be there as soon as I can. And she's like, well, are you coming to pick it up? I said, I live in Orlando. I will be there in an hour and a half to get it. Just put it behind the counter, please. I promise you I will be there. I scarfed down.
Amazing. What a great picture.
Down the rest of my pizza. Specifically threw on a Man United jersey because I was almost going to send you pictures all week with a newspaper and the beer and the Man United kit just to prove the date and time and be like, this beer is under ransom. Hopped in the car, drove to Daytona, got there in an hour, saw the Speedway, went into Total Wine, go, hey, I'm looking for a Cookie Puss beer. Oh, is it in the system? I said, I think it's right back there behind you. And he goes, oh, yeah, here you go. Paid for it, got the hell out of Dodge, and went back to Orlando.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Sent him a picture because I wasn't going to tell him I was going to Daytona until the beer was actually in my hand.
Right.
Because we've been just fooled so many times in the past week.
Awesome.
I sent him a picture, and I said, don't show this to Ron. We are going to surprise him on the pod. And we actually found it.
Dying for this pod because Cookie Puss and Fudge. Because Ron and I are big fans of Archer, and we were watching an Archer episode early on after I'd learned what these things were, and they were cracking Fudge the Whale and Cookie Puss jokes. I'm like, it really is a thing. You weren't lying.
No.
Like, this is a thing. Like,
I can't wait to break into this cookie
this
goodness.
can is a silver 16-ounce bullet of. I mean, it's just Cookie Puss on the front.
Where's the saucer?
And by the way, did you say what kind of beer it is yet?
Okay, so it is, God almighty, it is a milkshake IPA.
Oh, yes. It says, utilizing Carvel's signature ice cream and vanilla, we are proud to brew the Cookie Puss Milkshake IPA in collaboration with Carvel. Again, because the brewery is Captain Lawrence Brewing Company.
And Cookie Puss is 85 years old.
Yep. It's teamed up once again with Carvel's 85th birthday with Cookie Puss birthday beer. A thick, creamy milkshake IPA that tastes like a vanilla celebration.
Malt beverage brewed with natural and artificial flavors, artificial color, you think, and artificially colored with beta carotene. Because why do natural flavors, colors when you are, I mean, let's be honest. Go look up a picture of Cookie Puss. Ain't nothing natural about Cookie Puss and his ice cream nose.
Hold on. There is some sort of video on cpthebeer.com where a brewer is like high-fiving an animated image of Cookie Puss. I'm trying to bring it up right now, but I have no clue why it's not allowing me to.
It's ice cold.
We got to crack this.
All right, gents, you ready to do this? Cookie Puss. And by the way, Ron, they do make a Fudge the Whale chocolate stout, but that's a limited run during the year.
Oh.
So we got
This was a limited run throughout the year, too.
Oh, my God. I can't wait to try this.
Oh, man. I hope we don't move.
Ooh, it's a little carbonated.
We don't move thunder this.
I will say I did.
No. I think we just gotta wait. I think
okay.
it's not very heady.
Well, the bullshit. Mine's heady as
Yeah, I don't have a lot of head retention.
A lot of big bubbles.
I got big
a
bubbles.
lot of like cake size bubbles.
Ron's face. There's a lot of big bubbles. Ron, if your infatuation
thick.
from your youth with Cookie Puss has provided us with another Move Thunder moment.
Oh my
Hey,
god!
I never said that this beer would be good. I said the ice cream was good.
God, that is an IPA that is thick as thieves. Holy!
I think I shouldn't
shit.
have poured so much. I'll cheers you guys with the can.
Okay.
All right.
Here we go.
Cheers.
Hold on.
Cookie Puss. Take a picture of that bad boy.
Cookie Puss.
Cookie
This
Puss.
is the best.
And guess
pod
what?
ever.
They do make an Irish version called Cookie
Cookie
Opus beer.
Opus.
No, beer too.
Oh,
They make a Cookie Opus beer. All right.
here we go.
Milkshake, vanilla milkshake IPA.
Oh god.
Oh God, I taste the vanilla at the end, and I taste ice cream cone.
Yeah.
That very last taste is brutal. That aftertaste is brutal. Holy Cookie Puss.
Oh my God. This is damn incredible.
The insult to cakes.
It's good till the very end.
Exactly. It's not bad until the very end.
Wow.
Oh God.
Holy mackerel. It literally you taste like bread or not bread, but like
Okay.
the cake mix almost
Up
in
front,
it.
I'm gonna do the. I'm gonna do a flavor here. Here we go. I smell hops, even though I'm a little stopped up. Up front is an almost quasi juicy hop, followed immediately by a little hop bitterness in the back of the tongue, followed immediately by vanilla notes with like
lactose.
and then like cheap ice cream cone. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Now, Ron,
I told Blake about this earlier.
I'm going to do a little dramatic reading for you. From the Annals of Beer Advocate. Appearance. The beer is an opaque yellow with very large white bubbles that rapidly appear and disappear. The beer looks very sudsy and odd. It resolves in a glass-like surface that is devoid of life, a head, or lacing.
Which is true.
Aroma. There is a strange aroma of nail polish. That is all. Taste. The beer tastes the way that nail polish doth smell. It tastes like a bottle of chemicals. It is horrible and nigh undrinkable. Mouthfeel. It seemeth strange trying to decipher how horrible tasting beer feels. It is a strong bitterness and a chemical twinge. It is incredibly unpleasant.
It does taste chemical.
Overall, it is very rare that I find a beer that is truly a drain pour. This beer is awful. It tastes like chemicals, and it appears it offers nothing in return. I would highly recommend against buying this beer and would ne'er buy it again. I feel thusly shanghaied. Rating 1.06 out of 5.
And they keep going though too.
That's brilliant.
Oh my god.
Oh,
That's the best one, though.
Oh, that is the best one. Oh, orangey white like a faded carrot.
faded.
Faded vanilla chemical. High alcohol taste, bitter.
Yeah, I definitely see where people say it's chemically.
Well, I told Ferris, I was like, look, if the beer is like a 3 out of 5 for taste, it's okay. It's going to score a 5 out of 5 for being attached to Ron's childhood.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And apparently the Cookie Opus is like an Irish red milkshake.
Oh, that makes sense.
Oh man.
Guys, this is
what did they say? How much chemicals are in this? What did they say?
beta carotene's in it.
Yeah, for coloring.
Yeah, so it's very thick.
It's a milkshake.
There's a lot happening.
Like, I think the intent from everybody was good and a partnership and bring something childhood.
Maybe the style is a
childhood, her memory
like
to adults, but
Fudgy the Whale chocolate stout. That sounds like a no-brainer.
that's easy, right?
Right,
Everybody
that
just
makes
chocolate
sense.
stouts, yeah. But a milkshake IPA, I don't know.
But now we have that. What's that crazy unicorn? I have it up there. The Bridge Brewers unicorn thing.
Oh, the Bridge Road Brewing. Yeah.
Well, that one's a crazy beer.
Yeah.
That was
true.
the
Yeah,
unicorn.
yeah, yeah.
There's plenty of milkshake IPAs that are amazing.
I don't know if I've actually had a milkshake.
But now here's
IPA.
the true thing: which is a shame we couldn't have a Cookie Puss cake. See how it
yeah,
pairs.
Yeah. Because I guarantee the Cookie Puss cake would have tasted a hell of a lot better than this beer. And guess what? You're drinking all of that one there, buddy. You're not getting out of the old Piggly Wiggly one we had. What was the
pork slap?
You got out of that one. You're drinking all of this one here, buddy.
Oh my God! The fact that we made a Cookie Puss beer happen.
That's incredible.
I kid you not. The excitement that I experienced when I had cold to lukewarm pizza in my hand was just. I could
When you sent me that,
I almost ran out of the part without any pants on and just hopped in my car and just drove. Like I was like, it's going to happen. We are making this happen.
I knew that we had nothing. It wasn't happening. He does all this, didn't say a word. So I'm literally just sitting there, get a text. I was like, forwarded it to my wife. I'm like, don't tell Ron. Look at what I just got from Paris. It's happening.
Literally did not let anybody know I was going down there until I made sure I had it in my hand.
What was amazing was at the table, the teamwork of people trying to like make this beer happen.
There was like 6 people. There was like people doing internet research and giving you guys phone numbers.
But the best was just like flicking through the pictures and someone's like, oh, they have a beer. And
We're like, how do we get that here in the next
show?
week? And then we find out I had it in Florida. And then 1, 2, 3, 4,
'cause
5 efforts all failed with that.
Because I looked up, because the first thing I found when I searched for it as a beer was a distributor link that just said distributed in North Carolina, blah, 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 in Florida. I was like, right here. So that's what made it start calling. And I just remember, hi, this is Total Wine. Hey, Jeff, I'm looking for a beer. It's from a Captain Larry Brewing. It's called Cookie Puss. Ooh. I know. It's a funny.
It doesn't
name.
repeat well.
It just. But
You're drinking all of that there, though, buddy.
It does not repeat well.
Happy birthday to you. There we go.
Oh boy.
Happy birthday is what this is. Hey, this is a really appropriate beer.
You know what? Is that they were sold out from everywhere, and how many people are having the same reaction that we're having right now? That bought that because this was like a limited release run that was only for a certain period of time, and it only came out like late June.
I do want some Fudgy the Whale, but he's right in that review. It is a little frightening, and your face too. And you're like, I've got big bubbles. Yeah. Why are the bubbles so big in this beer?
They're
so
cake-sized bubbles.
I think we should have made a chocolate milkshake float out of this thing, or a milkshake like Ferris did for the Moo Thunder.
I don't.
Oddly enough, Ferris, again, you themed an amazing thing to a topic. This beer fits perfectly with the Mexico versus U.S. Gold Cup final.
Played in Chicago, not Mexico City, beyond contrary belief, if you watch the game.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
This beer is something else.
Oh my God. It tastes so good in the beginning and then goes to
This is a beer for laying down and avoid.
It's going to open the sluices at both ends.
Oh, man. Yeah, it is. I mean, in all honesty, while the crowd in Chicago was so pro-Mexico and just annoyed the hell out of me, I get it, but it annoyed the hell out of me. In all honesty, this was not a bad game from the U.S. at all. It really was
The
not.
second half was super flat.
Yes.
Everybody seemed like they were tired and had run a marathon earlier.
We got out tacticized. We tacticized. I made up a new word here because the milkshake IPA does that to me. We got out coached and out tacticized. Strategery.
We were out strategeried.
Exactly.
Tacticide. Isn't that what you spray on the plants to kill off the birds?
But that was 100% the case in this because the first half was honestly we came out, we shot out of a gun. We came out really, really good. We just didn't convert our chances. And why? Honestly, we don't have a number 9.
No.
Josie Altidore did a good job of holding the ball up and did all the hard work, spun Morales around, and just couldn't finish. That was 10 minutes into the game and would have put Mexico was under the pressure, and we could not get the ball in the net. We did everything else right. We played very well. We pressured. We played energetic. We got balls in the box. We got balls on goal or shots at goal. We could not finish.
And Mexico
was a good play from us.
And Mexico doesn't score till late. It's, you know what I mean? Like, this is a game that's winnable.
And we even had chances. We had one cleared off the line. We honestly did not play bad. I'm trying to look at the positives. In the second half, we didn't, but on our set pieces, we did, and we still had opportunities.
I'm sorry, it's that freaking ice cream cone aftertaste that is killing me. Because you're like, okay, and it hits you like just at this weird spot.
They're 100% right. It's chemical.
Oh yeah, it is a very chemically taste.
Chemical. Much like pork slap tastes like lard and was greasy, this is chemically.
Woo! Never wanted dad jokes so bad at this moment. Just end the damn pod.
Cookie Puss the beer.
Wow.
Sorry, the birthday beer.
The birthday beer. You better get that right. 85 years, baby. Cookie Puss has been around for 85 years?
Well, the beer not as long.
No, right.
But I mean, as an ice cream cake,
Carvel's been around for 85 years.
Gotcha.
Cookie Puss
70s.
was created in the 70s.
Of course it was in the 70s. Of course it was in the 70s.
Celestial person. Or a CP.
With that stupid hat. Look at that. And that came on the cake, too.
Did it
I
really?
remember because when I was a kid, I really liked eating the poof at the end of the...
I was about to say, that poof does look good, like a nice chocolatey poof. Damn it.
Man, that could be so many things. That was Punchline Scramble.
Yeah, it was. The name of your sex tape. That's what she said. You can go on and on.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
So, can you read another Beer Advocate, please?
I'm glad that you started with the Oma Gang that was so good.
You're right.
Oh, my God.
Oh, do you have a beer too, Blake?
Maybe.
Holy shit.
Going back to the U.S.-Mexico Gold Cup final, by the way. God almighty. The tactical change that really affected us was when Mexico and Tato Martino moved Rodolfo Pizarro from the right side, from the left side to the right side. That was a huge change because Tatus and his coaching staff saw.
Go my ahead. Wife about the Cookie Puss beer, and it came out Cookie Piss. He got autocorrect.
God, Apple, you're so smart.
Sorry.
The Cookie Piss beer.
Oh my God. Oh, incredible. But yeah, that was a very, very big. My freaking mic is falling apart now.
Wait a second.
Yeah, but here we go.
Gotta get
picture. We are so derailed. I don't even care. I'm trying to fix my mic. There's pictures of Ron holding up some piss beer and.
Oh my word! Oh, here we go. Yeah, this beer is just epic. Oh God.
Great.
It's getting warmer. Just let me put that in your heads real quick.
Not like warm milkshake.
What's the... It's 7.5 ABV.
Sure it is. They got to do something to make the beer okay.
Oh, Jesus. I love it. I just love... So Blake said this already, but it says malt beverage brewed with natural and artificial flavors and artificial color and artificially colored. Oh, my God.
No shit.
No wonder it tastes all...
Oh, man.
So there was another final that day?
Yeah. So back to that game. The Pizarro move over, what that did and what they saw was Richie Gannon on the other side of the pitch for the U.S. had himself just an amazing game. Not Richie, Reggie Cannon had himself a tremendous game. And what that was doing was when he Ooh, excuse me. That's a milkshake right there.
I told you it repeats badly.
It does. Oh, this mic probably smells so horrible.
We're gonna have to get you a new noise filter.
God almighty. Trying to make an intelligent soccer point, just the biggest milkshake burp of all time comes up. That's 7.6% of pure piss coming out. Oh.
I love that we fought so hard to find it, and it's shit.
We were talking about that. So Blake and I saw each other as we're leaving the garage today at work. So he calls me, hey, when you coming over? Yada, yada, yada. And we start talking about just the beer and how we're going to do it, all of that. And we're like, and I was like, Blake, you know what, dude? I'm going to tell you. I started to read some reviews on Beer Advocate. It gets like Moo Thunder-esque reviews. And he's like, that makes it even more brilliant.
You want to try it?
Crackers to warm our palate. Yes.
Yeah, my wife just poked her head in the studio.
No, I've heard you guys talk.
Good luck. Just give it. Go hit it.
Just do it.
This is brilliant.
It's the back end, right?
It's like somebody put a cough drop in beer.
Wait. Say that again.
It's like somebody put a cough drop in a vat of beer and called it flavor. Oh, God bless you. F you.
Oh,
God almighty.
Is she out there?
Oh my Lord.
I wanted
Don't
to-
worry, we have another
Don't give it to the
can.
baby. We're not going to put her through that.
We got another can. Don't worry.
Yeah, we do.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. This is absolutely terrible.
So, is it worse than pork slap?
It's worse than Poor Slap.
no,
I don't know if it's worse
no.
than Moo Thunder.
No, it's so it goes Moo Thunder, Pork Slap.
Cookie piss.
No. What's
Wait,
the other
is
one?
this worse or better?
Snapper? Snapper head, and then Cookie Puss.
Cookie Puss is better or worse?
It is.
You're not-
It is the best of those other three beers I just named, in my opinion.
You got to try this.
Come on in here.
Yeah, you gotta try
Let's
it.
see what a Canadian thinks about beer.
About
An American staple of beer.
She just said it looks like a urine sample.
Yeah.
Oh, it just repeated.
it's got the aftertaste of a cheap ice cream cone, which is intentional, obviously, but brutal.
Like really cheap ice cream cone.
Yeah,
A cheap ice cream cone.
yeah. Like the
one of
stale
those
one.
sugar cones.
Yeah.
With the
It's got something.
It's got, yeah.
It's got. I tried to text you, Kara, Cookie Puss, and it autocorrected to Cookie Piss. Yeah.
It's not wrong.
Oh God, this is one of my favorite beers we've ever tried. I don't care how bad it is.
So it's better or worse than the others? I'm still confused.
I think it's better.
Okay.
I think it is crafted better because you know what?
Yes, agreed.
This says it's a milkshake IPA.
They're not wrong.
and they aren't wrong.
No, they're not.
The other like
Farmhouse-
this is a IPA and it tasted like no.
Plus, they don't have a beer on their tap list that's called Anthrax.
No, this tastes like what it says. And to be honest, when we said, "Oh, it's a milkshake IPA,"
Nobody really thought it through all the way.
Yeah, is that
Like,
gonna be?
we really didn't think it through all the way.
I feel like I got heartburn. You said that about the spicy beer last go. I feel like I got that now. Oh,
That and that one's not far off the bottom either, in my opinion. The spicy. Well, no, that was. I mean,
oh God, you're right.
I told you.
When it comes
I
back
told
up,
you.
That repeat is
it's not good, guys. No,
that's
no,
a hard
it's
one to
not.
re-swallow.
I think it's like I burped up chemicals.
I'm in science
To
lab
burn all
drinking.
these microphones.
That's
you
orange
remember-
dye that you just burped up.
Do you remember one of the first Batman movies? They're like, they're just on the roof drinking Drano.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that. Yeah. I mean, drain it with hops.
Just leaves like a film on your tongue too.
Yeah. Oh man, it's good we didn't start with this beer.
No, which is why when I told you, I was like, you know what? I couldn't just do this beer for the pot. I need to do something else. One, to kind of get into it and kind of have it more of a surprise. But two, we needed to start off with something. We were talking about one of the most fantastic teams ever to be
You're
put
right.
together.
We could not.
have put shame to that team by drinking this beer and talking about
So
them.
they were waiting for the men's national
Exactly.
team.
We waited for- exactly.
Oh, that's so great.
Well done.
Again, you might have the best paired beers ever for the content.
Oh, brilliant.
I love that we're trying. We're still drinking it.
We're doing something right now. Anyways, as I was saying, I don't know why I'm like cheersing like this beer is good or something. Holy mackerel. Reggie Gannon was having himself a hell of a game, and what he was doing was he was pushing upfield. He was making runs up and down the line all game, but he was pushing up the field so much that it caused a very attacking Pizarro to have to drop back and have to follow him back and not allow Pizarro to play his game. So what did they do? The Mexican coaching staff looked at that and went, you know what? Tim Ream's not that good. He's also a center back playing at a left back. He also doesn't want to attack. He just stays back. So why don't we swap them? And it was Pizarro and Antuna, I think, and they swapped them. And Pizarro had himself a hell of a second half. He attacked. He knew that he wasn't going to be under threat by Ream getting up the field because Ream just doesn't. He's a defender. He's a center back. He's being played at left back. And he had himself a hell of a game. Guardado kept pounding him over the net on the side. They kept having shots. They kept attacking. Sooner or later, one of those were going to go in. And Jonathan Dos Santos had one off the crossbar and down and in. And it was a goal that was definitely coming in the second half, but one that was also deflating to the U.S. because they did have such a good first half and they were playing very hard and it just, they couldn't convert. And when you don't convert, you're going to get, that's that film.
Oh man.
That's that poor sugar waffle film.
Yeah. But so the leaving the beer out of this for a second. Did anyone think that the ex-Atlanta coach who brought his team in Atlanta to such success their first year, did anyone think that team was not going to be completely tactically squared away? I mean, I really thought that Mexico coming into this was going to be far superior from a tactical standpoint.
And
only
Mexico's
because,
like B team, not A team.
I would say, I agree with that, but it is the younger guys. Yeah.
but this really just goes to show you of all of the manager talk that we talk
Yes.
about, how much a manager really means.
Okay, so
Yeah, that's your
correct.
difference.
But if you guys remember last year, and I think this is accurate, I'm not 100% sure, but who two coaches in this game were in the MLS last year? Tattoo at Atlanta and Berhalter at Columbus.
Yeah.
Columbus.
Was he in? I thought he was
Yeah.
gone by then.
He was in Columbus still.
No, you're still there. Yeah.
And they both met in the playoffs, and Atlanta obviously advanced and won the entire thing.
Right.
That just shows the level of coaching. I don't want to put it at Berhalter's. It's still a rebuilding process, right? After what we went through with the World Cup last year and the run for all of that, it's still a rebuilding process. And I do think I'm looking very, very glass half full in this because I do think they played a majority. Holy that's a milkshake burp.
Yeah, the first half they played very well. They played well comparatively. But I'm not taking anything away from Berhalter. I'm actually lifting up Tata Martino.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
But we
look
said,
what
remember,
he has done
when
with the what you said, the B team.
but when he came to the MLS, we said, this is how the MLS gets better. You got to get guys like him to come in and coach.
Yeah.
That's your difference.
Right.
And this actually goes back to what I was talking about with the women's national teams. Europe has a better infrastructure, a lot more good coaches. If Europe invests, this is where it's going to make things very hard for the U.S. Our coach
Latin America,
situation,
where we're at.
right? Our coaching situation is still rough in the States.
Speaking of
It's
Russ,
just, so, but yes, I agree with you, Ron. That is a difference between, we had a younger team ish too, but
Not a full team. We were missing like Josh Sargent and Tyler Adams and some other players that are going to be a young core for us.
I need to make one tactical change, and I got this, and that's what he did.
Right, and I will say, like I said, we played well, and Matt Miazga and Aaron Long played very well the entire game. Our two center back pairing, and I do think that they can play very well together. Outdoor just doesn't do it for me. I mean,
Altidore hasn't done it for us in quite some time.
True, and Zardes just doesn't. They both just don't do it for me. Do they both do good things? Are they both MLS great? Are they both super talented? Yes, and yes. But they're not what we need in the modern game of soccer and for U.S. soccer, who is predicated on our number 9s, right? Brian McBride, Brian Ching, Landon Donovan, Clint Dempsey, whoever it is, we don't have that right now. Josie's not that. Zardes isn't that.
Right.
Who is going to be that? Honestly, I think we need to stop playing Jordan Morris off on the wing and play him right down the center.
Why not? Yeah.
With Pulisic behind him, I think that could work.
I think you have nothing to lose. I don't think he's going to step up, but I don't think I don't think we have anything to lose by trying.
Why not try it?
Why not put him?
Kind of like what we were saying with Arsene Wenger and Arsenal all that time ago with why aren't you playing Lacazette and Aubameyang together? You got nothing else to lose.
And with Greg Berhalter's 4-3-3 that he likes to play, why not play a front three of this? Paul Areola, Jordan Morris, Tyler Boyd. Where did Tyler Boyd go in the last half of this tournament? Did he not get on with the coaching staff? Did he do something wrong in practice? Like we don't know. I'm just purely throwing out guesses. But he didn't play at least the last two games, I think. And then behind them in the number 10 role,
Christian P.
Oh God!
Sorry.
Why is this beer Why does this beer make us so burpy?
Wow. That was earthy.
That was earthy. That was robust.
That was very robust. That sound in Mike and in your ears here in a few days, folks, is going to be brilliant.
Oh,
wow.
Sorry. Ooh, that was rough.
And here we are trying to have an intelligent conversation about U.S. men's soccer. Wow.
Do we do intelligent?
I don't think we ever do intelligent.
I think we try.
Oh, God.
Holy.
We're just like, hey, I mean, yeah.
If I don't stutter my way through, I'm going to burp my way through this one. Holy. Anyways, I do think that we need to try something at number 9. I did just see that a couple people, Timothy Weah this past week signed with Lille. I think he could possibly be a number 9, or does he play a wing? Aaron Johansson. He had that hip surgery a few years back, has not quite been the same player. He signed with a top club in Sweden, I believe. Can he get back in the limelight? We just need somebody to honestly finish the ball instead of do what Josie did. He did all of the hard work and he set himself up for it, but his final touch to just calmly and coolly curl it around the goalie just to slot it in the corner didn't happen. We need somebody that has that touch that can do that.
So I think here's a bigger question that maybe this is really not for this pod, but we haven't had that in quite some time. So what is it in our system, in youth players and recruiting and college, that we aren't getting these positions to be filled?
I don't know, because that's a big problem. I mean, well, part of it is the pay to play soccer. So I heard it. I want to give credit where it's due. I think of the Men in Blazers. We need this game to become less suburban and more urban. Like with the pay to play system, you only got the talent that can afford to do it.
Right.
I think that's your biggest holdup.
Well, and here's the thing: we have a lot of young talent coming in now.
Yeah, but see, hold on. The argument is that we've had when Jurgen Klinsmann was like, we need all this young talent. Everybody seems to be about, quote, young talent, but it never seems to deliver.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying you you stop and you throw up your hands. But the system is obviously not working, right? If we keep saying, the children are our future, and we keep getting new people and no one's delivering, there's a problem in the system.
Right. But this is going to be years in the making. And honestly, what Jurgen said is kind of coming true. We have a lot of players playing in the Bundesliga, in the French league, in the Norwegian league, the Swedish. We have a lot of players overseas now playing. But one of the things that we have to give it time, because the game, soccer in America, has grown so much. And where it's at now, and the coverage that NBC has thrown at it, the coverage that ESPN has thrown at it, the coverage that BN Sports has thrown at it, the coverage that EA Sports...
He just said...
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
The coverage that EA Sports with FIFA has thrown at it, we have players now seeing what the Mbappes are doing, what the Ronaldos are doing, what the Messis are... Holy that's a bad burp. What the Harry Kanes are doing. What the whoever superstar out there that you can name, they are now seeing that. And they want to be that. So you will have more going to college. You will have more going overseas. You will have more wanting to give everything they have towards soccer and not basketball, not football, not baseball, not any of the other sports that we have held so. So you're going to have to give it time, because Timothy Weah, Tyler Adams, Weston McKennie, Christian Pulisic.
But
you can go on of the young talent. It's going to be years, though.
You got to make it
and
more.
they're only going to be the first wave.
But you got to make it more accessible. No more of this pay to play. And you got to get rid of that situation.
And I heard something on Sirius XM where a college athlete called in, soccer player, and he said, if you're a part of these developmental leagues, it is fully paid for. And I'm not going to go into too much because I don't know the full details. I don't want to speak out of turn because I haven't done that and I haven't researched it enough. But if that is true coming from somebody that played in the college system and then was on some of those teams, that's a start. And if Carlos Cadera is enough to be in the tunnel for every one of the U.S. women's game and see the impact that has had, who knows what kind of change he could possibly make on the U.S. Soccer Federation.
Can I help enlighten you to that situation? He isn't wrong at the level that he got to. It's paid for. It is the steps along the way that you're paying for.
The underage,
that is so expensive that if you don't do those things, Hope Solo talks about this. Her family didn't have a lot of money, and one of her coaches paid for it because you're really good. We've got it's once you get to that level, it's kind of like people there are a lot of people at Harvard who totally have free rides that are completely filthy rich. So you're like, what are they? What? Right. And it's kind of a similar situation. With soccer in the States with a pay to play attitude, whereas in the rest of the world, as I said, you need something to designate a goal and a round ball. Go play, and kids play from an early age. That doesn't happen here. Well, it's starting to happen here now. That is the difference.
And I think it's also, and I shame on me for not even mentioning another big aspect of why that will grow the men's game, the women's game.
Yep.
How many young men, boys in the U.S. watched their run and went, I want to be Megan Rapinoe. I want to be Alex Morgan. I guarantee you there's so many. And they are going to drive soccer in this country even more so. So shame on me for not saying that as well. I do think we have to give it time, right? We cleanse the palate with Klinsmann and what's the guy that's now coaching the Revs? Thank you. We kind of cleanse the palate there. I think Jurgen was thinking the right way, just didn't apply it the right way, right? I think he was saying the right things, but how he said it and the way he went about it, that's why he no longer has a job for U.S. men. But I think he was thinking the right way.
Could have been a good technical director.
A lot of people, yeah. Which the only way he took it was kind of to do both, but he needed to focus on just one, which should have been the technical director.
Bobby Woods and stuff. That's the kind of folks he got in for.
Right. So here's a question for you. Last year, when Greg Berhalter's name was being bandied about whether or not he was going to be,
and Blake talked a lot of crap about it.
Well, yeah, but Christian P very publicly told ESPN, "I just want to see a guy with a plan." Right? That was his thing, because there was so much confusion and so many issues.
The team changed so much from day to day.
So Is Berhalter the guy with the plan?
I don't know if we know yet.
I think this was the first test in that plan, and we did get to the final, regardless if you think it's the easiest tournament in the whole entire world, which it is. And I think the men performed. They didn't win, but I think this win felt more this loss felt more positive to me than. It hurt more because they were playing so well.
We gotta. For me, I can't answer. I got to see a little more.
I agree
at this
but
point.
To answer your question, I do think he has a plan. Yes,
But you know who's got a plan?
Is that plan?
Jose
is that plan going to
Mourinho.
be
Come
good?
on over to the States. Jose Mourinho.
Don't.
And a man with he's the man with the plan.
Hey, 2 World Cup victories, and then he could go home.
He can go home. Yeah. Then the team will turn on him, and it all works. Yeah. I'll take it. 2 stars.
Knowing our luck, Jill Ellis will leave in 2 years, and he comes to coach the women, and all goes to from
Quit,
there. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
No, he's not allowed to coach the ladies. No.
Just keep him away from there.
I mean, there's
I don't know.
already.
I'm more of a glass
already,
half full in this.
There's already
in this.
Berhalter out
That's we're
going on.
Right,
There's already the naysayers and all that other crap going on.
We got to give it a little bit of time here. We got to give it a little bit of time. You give it to at least the World Cup cycle for the men. So he gets another 3 years?
Yeah, because enough changing. Yes.
Right. You need to have something here to allow some sort of
tournament
groundwork.
in the world. We bombed out early. Different story. We didn't. We did make it to the final. We lost to Mexico. We lose to Mexico all the time because we go back and forth against each other constantly. So winning and losing to Mexico isn't anything new for either team. For to lose against the U.S. or vice versa. So I'm quit with that. Quit with that talk. Quit with that talk.
I'm actually surprised to hearing that out of your
me?
mouth. Yeah. Burn it all down.
I'm not.
Fire them all.
Well, I mean, but they made it to a final.
Yeah, well, that's true.
I didn't say
Well,
that.
Arsenal made it to a final
Right,
too.
and you know what? That was frustrating. I didn't say get rid of Emery after that loss to Chelsea.
Yeah, but I mean, in all honesty, that loss for Arsenal fans was more was worse than the loss that we just had because I think U.S. played. But I mean, I'm not trying to compare the Arsenal would kick the hell out of the U.S. men and whatnot, but. Again, I'm a glass half full in this. I watched the entire game.
Do you know it's also going to be a big deal?
But I was also just frustrated, and it did hurt a little bit more.
I think the one that could really help us is, man, here's hoping, and I hate to say this because he's in blue, here's hoping Christian Pulisic is fantastic in the Premier League because that will also, the Premier League has been growing exponentially, but if he can do well in the Premier League and be an American out there, if he could be a star in the Premier League, it's no pressure, dude.
Under who?
Under
Frankie Lampard.
Frankie Lampard.
Which is hysterical because so quick Premier League vortex.
Here it finally came.
There was.
Right? Super quick. I'll put a toe in the vortex and I'm out. Is that the Blues lost or drew their game with Ireland, Dublin, in the preseason. And there's already
Oh, talk about coach.
Lampard out, hashtag Lampard out.
Didn't he start like half of the people that have been on loan for the past 4 years, like something like that?
Whatever.
Well,
I just thought it was entertaining.
Well, do you know what I saw? I saw a Instagram post of somebody going, Lampard showing these youngsters how to do it because he was in one of their like training sessions and wearing one of like the pullover jerseys and just going to town on these youngsters. That's just like, here's how we do it, gents.
But if Pulisic,
good for him.
But if Pulisic could flourish under Lampard, that'll also help the game, right? That's in the States.
It'll help the game in both the States and England. In all honesty, because if Frank.
No, I just mean as far as kids looking and going,
help it.
Here's an American
U.S.
perspective.
Yes.
For our future soccer players.
Which you have to be, I mean, yes, we cannot forget about Jose being at Sunderland and some other areas he was at, Donovan being at Everton for a few years, Brian McBride at Fulham we can't forget about those guys that have helped to have they had success? No. Will Christian Pulisic have success? I don't know. We don't know yet.
But he certainly did at Bundesliga. At Dortmund, he was well loved there.
But keep in mind, he's going to Dortmund because he wasn't getting in Dortmund's first team. He kind of got, I don't say pushed out, but he
goes into a Chelsea where they actually could use him. It's a different situation in Chelsea.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, on in the Chupacabra Cup and the FA Cups and the
I think you'll see
the four fronts that they're on. He's going to get some time.
Sure.
Well, and it helps that they can't bring anybody else in either.
Right.
So
That's what I'm saying.
there's you kind of forced for time.
Everything is set up to hopefully let him shine. When there's your Premier League vortex for the episode. How are you guys slugging this beer? I just can't.
Wow. Ron actually has slugged it down nicely. He has about a swallow or two
because he knows this is his fault.
I got it, but yeah, that's true.
Hey,
And he's not hungover as this time with we were chugging down scrapple and pork slap.
that's true. So do you think that U.S. soccer, here's another fun question. So U.S. soccer was approached by the Real Madrid boss, Julian
Lopetegui.
Thank you.
How can I say that name, but not Christian Pulisic?
Pulisic. I know.
Whatever the hell his damn name is.
and Tata Martino for the U.S. men's national team job.
Tata was never going to come.
Right? So, he went to U.S. soccer and said, I'll be your coach.
He went?
Yeah.
We turned him down.
So,
well, we don't. I mean, who knows
we're
negotiation?
yeah.
right. So, yeah, there's some negotiation problems, but how do you not pick one of those two over?
See, okay,
Berhalter?
this goes back to when Blake.
I mean, unless
was
this is a long game here from the U.S. Soccer Federation going, okay, we don't need that immediate fix. We want to build a.
But
is that
longevity in
landscape.
Berhalter? I mean, he's not had the greatest record.
But he can lay the groundwork potentially for what the U.S. wants to build with its youth.
But does
with
he
his grass
build
level?
a better?
I don't know.
Does
We
he
haven't
build a
seen
better
it yet.
network or groundwork than Martino
Possibly.
or Lopetegui?
Well, no, but those are both fixes that just come in and win you the Gold Cup, okay, or do well for a flash in the pan, and then they're gone. And then where is?
I don't know. I don't think Tata Martino is a flash in the pan. I mean, he's had
He would be for U.S. soccer, I think.
you don't think he'd stay that long?
No, I don't think he would. I do. Well, Berhalter, who knows? But I think he could lay that groundwork for what the U.S. is trying to do. Because again, when we got knocked out, or we didn't get knocked out, we lost, and we did not get in the World Cup. When we did that, we just cleansed the palate and we washed away everything, and we kind of started fresh. And what we started fresh with was not the big name, bright stars, and here it is. It's let's bring a U.S. guy in that can hopefully have a plan. Look what he's done with the crew. Look what he's done with some other, and let's see what we can start here. It's not going to be an overnight thing. It's not going to be the first tournament thing. It's going to take years. I'm on board with that. Give me 4 years, 5 years. Let's see where we're at.
That's fair. I'm just curious. I'm just throwing out the options that we had. And
Absolutely.
Trying to see,
it's a good,
why would we have picked this person over that person?
And who knows what the
behind the scenes we can't guess at. Of course, we don't know about negotiation and any closed door meetings. But from the outside looking in, there's some pretty fabulous coaches that approached U.S. soccer, and we put them away.
Yeah.
man, this beer.
It's rough. I still rank it above those other three, but it's rough. It's not far above.
It's a close fourth.
Ooh.
Tied for third worst.
Does that wrap us up?
Sure.
I think it does.
So
I don't know that I can handle much
Brazil
more.
won the Copa,
yes.
by the way, in a little bit of an interesting game, but against Peru.
Well, we pretty much knew that was coming.
Once they knocked out Argentina, Messi had some very interesting comments about the refs and how the Copa was done and yada, yada, yada. You can go online and see all of those, and it was quite interesting. And
But do you think it was easier to blame the refs than alienate the team? If you're Messi?
I think he brought certain points up that are true, but I don't. He then tagged on with some other.
It just sounded like sore loser.
It did,
yeah.
But through that, and you kind of sift through the shit there, and you pick out the kernels. He did have some. He did have vivid image of. He did have some points that you're like, I kind of see that. But when you start throwing around the word corruption,
Yeah,
That's when you go, that's okay. You
But
can't
also
really throw around the C word.
And the reason I say that is he's kind of the one man team. There's not a lot going on
Which
in
is a shame,
the
'cause they have
Argentinian
talent.
team.
Yeah.
So is that frustration that he's directing outward also some frustration he should be directing inward? And when I say inward, I mean
outward here in about 2 minutes.
I just don't know how you guys are slugging this down. I'm trying to do it quick, and I just can't drink this beer. This cookie puss ain't going down smooth.
This cookie puss is what's.
Yeah. Well,
I'm done.
Okay.
Officially
Yeah,
out.
you
Okay.
did finish it. We have another can here for you.
so
You said I had to finish it.
Yeah,
Done.
well,
I did. Yeah, you were the first one.
we're wrapped up, but not quite.
Okay.
Oh,
Can you
Dang it.
please?
You killed me, right?
Yeah, that's okay.
I got so many beefs.
Wow, that's we're gonna get to the full page here on both sides.
yeah. So here's the thing.
Hold on. I'm downing this last little swallow here.
Great,
I'm
I'll
gonna
try
do
to. I can't chug it. I think it made me
it. Oh
gag.
my god, I'm gonna throw. Oh god.
So okay.
Ferris just
Here's the
vomited
thing.
in his
This
mouth.
beer is so bad.
Oh,
First, I need you to have a cracker
I finished mine.
because
I have film on my teeth
we are-
of nothing but pure piss.
I apologize because we're about to eat crackers on the pod now. But there's a reason.
Oh, tastes like heaven.
Why? We need a palate cleanser.
Tastes like heaven.
You've never tasted a saltine cracker that tastes.
no,
I texted my wife.
this
she goes-
would be a New York strip if I'm not. If I was, oh my god.
The reason I texted her about the cookie puss, you were sitting there talking. I said, "Hey, can you do me a favor?" She says, "Like, yes." I said, "This cookie puss is so ... not very good. I
being
can't
polite.
do the last beer without a palate cleanser. Could
The
you
last
please?
beer, there's
Yep,
another
don't worry
one.
about
Could
it.
you please bring us some crackers?"
Son of a.
Well,
That's the last pod before you go to China. You think we were just going to nilly willy, let's talk about this. Let's get off one beer.
but Ron
No.
gives us our segue.
He
I was
does.
like munch on. Oh, this is terrible audio.
No, but this is fantastic cracker. The best cracker I've ever tasted in my life.
We need a palate cleanser before we touch this next thing.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one too.
So said, okay, we got to do something special because for those of you, if you didn't realize, so Ron for work is moving to Beijing Monday morning. Right, you fly out.
He gone.
For the next 18 to 24 months.
Yeah.
So he'll be back.
Not to be exact or anything.
Do not fret. We will be talking to Ron from China.
Yeah.
So what stuff Ron
Technology.
but he will not be back here in the pod for or here for unless you come back for work purposes. You might. We might have to squeeze.
I'll be calling in a lot.
Yeah, we'll be calling in a lot. So I said, well, I have a beer that I've had for a while, and I asked my wife, I said, I wonder if I should crack this out. So I said, I think I'm gonna crack this beer out.
Ooh.
And I threw it on ice very late because it doesn't need to be super cold.
Don't worry. The milkshake IPA was on ice for 3 days.
I've had this beer for a long time. Ron might even remember when I got this beer, and I've had it for a very long time. I've just been sitting it there on the shelf, letting it age. And I thought, I think I'll do that. And I looked, do a little research. And I went, interesting. Ferris, you don't even know this. I found this out after I told you, hey, man, what are you?
I saw the beer, but
I
I don't
said,
know
what are you doing? And he told me, I said, cool. I think I'm going to do one, and especially when we looked at the reviews, just in case the cooking puss was really bad. We can't end on that.
No, correct.
Before Ron's last.
I don't know. That's pretty much correct.
I'm still burping it up.
It's great, but before you leave, because we're gonna miss you here in the pod on the well, not the daily, but on the weekly. So here we go. I don't even have to look this beer up because this beer comes with literature.
Ooh.
Comes with literature?
It does. You're absolutely right.
A brewery that Ron is very fond of, from the United Kingdom,
Ooh.
Fuller's Brewery.
Ooh.
Oh.
Vintage ale is a
Yum.
truly distinguished bottle-conditioned beer. Each vintage is a blend of that year's finest malts and hops, creating a unique and limited edition brew. Being bottle-conditioned, it is after bottling that the flavors truly begin to develop and continue to do so well beyond the best before date that we are obliged to state. The following is a quick guide to the 8 previous vintage ales that together with the 2005 edition form this classic range. So, gents, this beer is 14 years old. Vintage ale first done in 1987, brewed on 18th of May, 22nd of July, 1997. This is first in the portfolio of vintage ales. Dark in appearance, the taste is almost brandy-like with a hint of fruitness in the aroma. Vintage ale 1998. The second in the series and now very rare, this vintage ale was based on a Champions theme with the addition of Champion Alexis malt and Champion Northdown aroma hops. The result is sweet, warming, creamy ale that is beautifully balanced. Every year is different. 2004 bottles, 95,000 bottles were produced for 2004's vintage, which again completely employed traditional approach, this time brewed with Golding hops, Amaris otter malt, distinctive cherry notes, evident before a warming finish that mellows with age. So let me present bottle number 79,001
And one.
of the limited run of Fuller's 2005 vintage ale. And I'm going to try to read this back, but it's very difficult. It says, I have crafted this year's very special ale from the finest Fugel's hops, floor malted optic malt, and of course, our unique yeast to create a truly extraordinary limited edition brew. Individually packaged and numbered, this bottle is one of the 95,000 produced.
Wow.
Although we are obliged to state a best before date of 2008, like a fine wine or whiskey, this mellow and golden ale will improve with age for many more years. The best results keep upright in a cool, dark room or cellar. Being bottle conditioned, it will form a natural sediment. Pour carefully, sit back, and enjoy this very finest of Fuller's ale. So I'm not going to get a lot of yeast in your pour.
Shit.
I'm
If
stoked.
anybody would like to check out the box to which this
The
bad
word
boy
champion was said a
came
lot
in.
in that.
Um,
Hello.
it says individually packed and numbered. This bottle is one of only 95,000 produced.
Yeah, fancy bottles.
So,
Ron, get you a picture of that.
Yeah.
but wait, there's one last piece of information.
Oh,
So this beer was gifted to me a while ago. I don't know if you remember this, Ron. This was the guy that got us into craft beer.
That was from Jason?
That was a gift.
No
how's that cracker?
Back in the day, that cracker's good, y'all.
It is fantastic.
Oh.
Best crackers we've had in our
The
life.
best palate cleanser ever.
So who was Jason? The guy
A
that got you
ran,
into craft beer?
yeah, liquor store here. They
Oh,
started bringing
up
craft
north.
beer
Yeah, okay.
in the early 2000s. When I moved away, again, apologize for the eating, in 07, he gave me this as a cool gift. And I've just held on to it. Right? Am I wrong, right? That's my memory. I think it has to come from Jason
Yeah.
Wow.
based on the year. So,
Love it.
hold on one second. I brought us all glasses. We can pour a little bit. I searched online real quick. Went to Fuller's shop.
Yeah.
Fuller's shop.fullers.co.uk. The actual Fuller's site.
Awesome.
Not a reseller. Thus maker.
Thus.
2005 brought big changes to the pub industry. With relaxed licensing laws allowing establishments to open longer, it was business as usual at Fuller's, though, as we created our 9th stunning vintage ale. This vintage has spicy and peppery notes on the nose, followed by hints of toffee and vanilla. Incredibly well-rounded, the malt flavors are softened by spicy citrus notes from the hops. This product is one of the few remaining bottles in our stocks, so may soon become unavailable. Read more about our special vintage ales in the Vintage Ale Collection tab. It even says if you order this, any of our vintage ales are limited to 24 bottles per order, and rare vintage ales are limited to 1 bottle per order. Gentlemen, this is one of their rare vintage ales.
Oh, how cool is
Anybody in the United Kingdom listening that would like to order one for delivery, you can do so for £300.
Holy hell yes, we have ourselves quite the rarity.
that? Clark.
I'm pretty sure officially
That's
the
cool.
schwankiest beer we have ever had
Yeah.
on this pod.
Well, it
After-
follows a hell of a shitty beer. And Cookie Puss birthday beer.
So, after, is Ron really taking a pee break?
Yeah, he is.
This
Well,
momentous.
give you time to pour and all
Wait,
that.
we just did a momentous. That son of a. We just did a momentous sending off for Ryan 300-pound. What is that in US? I don't even know now. But 300-pound bottle of ale. We are going to crack this open,
In fairness,
and he got to go pee. He did chug that milkshake.
did.
I couldn't finish it. That's why my
I
bladder.
finished it. You did not. You like that's the first time I've seen you not finish a beer there.
It's why my bladder is not full because I could
No.
not.
In fairness, we did provide to him probably one of the worst beers we've had on one of his last shows before he goes to Beijing.
It's true, but at least it came from his childhood. Well, the beer didn't. But Cookie Puss. Oh, I was just giving a cough on the cracker and I almost grabbed the Cookie Puss beer. And went, oh, no.
No, Fluffy.
No.
Don't be jealous. I had to clear all the pallets.
He cleared that bladder palate.
So, okay, Ron is back. So this beer,
Pour it up and then
it's
follow it
schwanky.
up with some dad jokes.
It's got a lovely little, it's like got the little tape over or a little paper. It says 2005.
bougie.
Guys,
Pinkies up,
This is going to
gentlemen.
be
a
great.
300-pound bottle of beer.
And I don't.
That
I
pays for
don't.
like Alexis Sanchez's left toe.
I don't want to. I don't want to make light of the beer, but this is going to be amazing after Cookie Puss the
It's
beer.
true. We actually
Oh,
probably
sure.
could have had your
Yeah.
Budweiser and thought that was pretty good.
That's true.
All right. Oh, there it goes. 300 pounds open.
Ooh.
I can't. Oh, y'all, this smells. I can't believe this has been sitting on my shelf for so long. And I've just been waiting for a moment. This is a perfect moment.
Yes, it is.
Perfect moment.
The
You guys
champion.
Feel free to
in
chat. It's going to take me a second to pour.
Okay.
Ooh, I
Well, we'll
can't
chat
wait.
amongst ourselves. Ron, how are you?
Good content, Ferris.
Thank you. You're welcome.
This
Why are you just doing a little? Okay, just a little.
this
just a little
is not going to be
sniffer?
super carbonated.
Well, no.
It's been sitting for
Yeah,
quite
Yeah,
some time.
this has been sitting for a while.
It's like you're pouring it like
This is how Ron and I learned the
what's
technique
What's
for
the very intelligent?
like a sommelier, like
what
a
are you doing?
No, yeah, with the pinky and the thingy.
You look like you're jerking off an elephant.
It's
What are
Jimmy's
you
sex tape.
doing?
more like a giraffe.
God damn it! You said talk amongst yourselves. This is what you get.
Great, I should have known.
What was that?
The Kvass. What's the fancy drink?
Like a brandy.
Kvass, like a brandy. Well, sure.
Were you
don't
like
know.
circling a
Yes,
brandy
I was
sifter?
trying. Dude, I'm jerking off an elephant.
Oh, it looked like okay.
God almighty.
Mm.
What are we doing?
Oh,
So yeah, this
looks
is how
so
Ron
good.
and I were
This
taught
does
to
look
pour
fantastic.
fine
Beautiful
beers.
color.
I'm being slow with it so the yeast doesn't get all. I don't know. I have advised something. You want the yeast to kind of get disturbed.
It's like a light wood color. Oh,
And again, I have stored it. I've moved a couple of places. I've moved down the East Coast. I think I've treated this thing well. I think it's traveled well. We will.
it almost look. It pours like a fine drink and not necessarily a beer.
It looks like
Yeah.
a brandy or a wine.
yeah.
So it's much
All right, Ron,
much
we're
more
gonna
like
give you the pirate's booty last of this because
awesome. It's much more like when you pour a quad, right? There's very
Yeah.
little head to it, if any. It pours. It's much more viscous, and it's got that. It's just lighter than that quad color. If you're following along at home.
Ferris, your
Oh, God bless you.
glass there.
Ooh, that smells good.
You know it.
Ooh.
Only the finest, spared no expense.
Well, spared 300 pounds.
I didn't.
No, you didn't. Somebody did.
But
Or
that's what's
didn't,
crazy.
but now
Well, at
it
the
is.
time they didn't, right? This has gotten, more valuable with age. All right, so I feel like we can't do a dad joke. We got to taste this and talk
Oh
about
no!
it.
It's like
And
it's,
then-
it's
and then-
following.
yeah,
it's like the
We'll get
pinkies
it
up,
closer.
and we're having a very serious conversation. And then we throw in the dad.
All right, before we cheers this, then we'll just say as a reminder, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Untapped. The website's thebrutalgame.com. If you enjoy the show, rate and review us. It helps us out. Let us know you do. Take a screenshot of it. We'll get you a koozie and a magnet in the mail. And just share us with your friends. That's the biggest thing that would help. Is that,
And really, I mean, we three have been doing this in the studio now for a makeshift studio where we just decided to record our shenanigans on a mic. But thank you all very, very much for listening, supporting, sharing, interacting. Matt, Kim, I mean, just thank you all very, very,
Jeff,
very,
yeah, I know we've had some really good listeners
Absolutely.
send
We can
stuff in and
we can
like,
go
yeah.
on. I mean, what's the Clark driving around and
Yeah.
like, thank you all very, very
follow
much.
up with Clark and make sure you guys
I'm-
finally
I'm-
got his stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Try Cookie Puss.
All right. Oh,
No,
that's
no, no,
good.
no, 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 no. I would not put that on my worst enemy. Did
So
not
this
do
is,
that.
again, for those of you at home, this is Fuller's Vintage Ale 2005 edition.
Oh, 8.5%.
that's
ABV.
modest.
Yeah.
That's modest, but
But it's
I feel
crazy.
like it's gonna be very,
if you
very
read
good.
the
Oh, yeah.
descriptions of every year, very different each time.
It's fine.
It's a
Right.
very different beer.
Like you don't have to have a high alcohol content for it to be a good beverage,
Mm.
good beer.
Man, you guys got to read the back of the label
Well,
by
right.
John Keeling.
Oh yeah, because he actually that's what I was saying. Like I brewed
He's
this
the
like
brewmaster,
yeah.
And he writes in here, and I don't know, it's probably not his handwriting, but I have crafted this year's very special ale from the finest
I think he's like golden or Fugel's hop.
Fugel's hops. Yeah. And he writes this entire paragraph, 2 paragraphs about the beer.
Man, it smells.
Most of which Blake has already read, but it's cool that it's written and signed on the back by him.
And only 95,000 made. This is as in 79,001 is this one.
Wow.
This smell, it's very very malty. Like I definitely have a very malty smell.
It has
it
that
is still
really high
carbonated.
alcohol content, like a brandy type smell.
I definitely see
so like just aromatic.
it's got some little bitty bubbles. Those carbonation bubbles have really died down.
Yeah, it's more like a quad in that respect.
Or
Flat
actually,
still.
in the way it's sitting, almost more like a barley wine.
Yeah,
And that, you know,
yes,
like-
Yeah,
that's
I
a very
see
good.
that.
Yes.
In the smell of like that, like.
All right.
All right, Ron, safe travels. We are going to miss having you here,
Hell
but
yeah.
we will keep this rolling from afar. What?
That's a good one though.
Wow.
There's a lot going on there.
Not what I thought it was going to be.
There's a lot to unpack in this beer.
There's like
so
a
smooth.
it's really malty up front, but then down the middle of your tongue, from like the middle back, it's a good solid hop wallop, but not like not aggressive, just like
Tasteful.
robust and tasteful. Yeah, like man, that is good.
It's almost got like kind of a plum vibe to it.
Yes, yeah.
Slight. Yeah.
And this, to be honest, now that we're tasting this is the kind of thing like it's what your beer would have tasted like in 1750 or like 18. Do you know what I mean? Like
Right.
this is
And a
more what you
chalice
have.
and then-
Well,
yeah.
that cask fermented. It's not going to be super carbonated. It's going to be malt. It's going to have a lot of stuff in it that if you can't eat, like it fills you up. Do you know what I mean? Like
But well, and we've said this a couple times. This would be a fantastic sitting by a fire having a cigar beer. This is like the ultimate. This is real good.
holy cow!
Wow.
But it definitely it tastes like 300 pounds. What I mean by that is kind of like the thing vibe you get with a fine wine. Like, if you ever really try a fine wine, you're like, I think even though I'm kind of a wine idiot, I do kind of vibe that different. Like there's a smoothness. Like there's a lot of complex flavors going on here that if we crack this in 2005 would be very different, right? Have like a very effervescent, like this is like mellowed together and chilled for 14 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
Like, so
Yeah, it would have been way more carbonated in 2005. It wouldn't have been nearly as sophisticated in 2005.
right. Oh, this like even just, I mean, if you saw the three of us right now, if the heart monitor was, we all went like just, oh yeah.
That is so
You're listening
good.
to smooth jazz, the beautiful game. Like
Could be
that's
QQI.
that's
Next
what this
up,
feels
Kenny
like.
G.
Late night drive.
Yeah, this makes you definitely like, whoa, slow down and enjoy. Oh man.
Life's for enjoying, ladies
Mm.
and gentlemen.
Hey, what a good segue. Like, you know, enjoy, man. I'm so like it's gonna suck with Ferris and I talking about like, oh man, we lost our photographer.
Yeah.
Having you in the room argue with us, more so with Ferris.
The fun question games that you play that really sparks conversation and rant. Like that's
yeah. So we're looking forward to keeping that rolling where you'll be 13 hours ahead of us.
Right now
12?
it's 12. When
With daylight.
daylight savings times, it'll be 13.
Gotcha. We'll make it work though. But holy cow. But at the same token too, I'm also like really jealous because holy crap, you've got a cool adventure ahead of you.
And
Oh,
you're
yeah.
closer to Japan.
You've already like talked about like hiking and camping on the Great Wall and stuff, and
Yeah, it's going to be a ton of fun.
yeah. So and
It's
kind
going
of
to be
beer
a
they
lot
sell
of
on the
hard
Great
work,
Wall?
but
Yeah.
it'll be a ton of fun.
yeah, and finding all the awesome breweries because you found a ton last time. So I look forward to all that news.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
And so one of the things I'm going to try and do is send some packages home and see if they make it because the post is like 70-30 against. But if I can get some beer back to you guys, we can coordinate
That'd
when
be
we
awesome.
open it, so we all have the same Chinese beers, and give that a whirl.
Oh, and while we're doing these special last 2 beers, we should mention that prior to the pod starting, Ron dropped off some awesome pictures of
I was
us that
just
they printed
staring
up.
at. I was just
like
staring
one
at
is
that,
the
yeah.
3 of us together at the game, but for the women's national team final at the World Cup. But my favorite is the 2 pictures that are us pensively watching before Megan Rapinoe's a penalty kick, and then immediately following. It's perfect.
Like
It's perfect.
moments after it went into the net.
Yeah, it's a shame there's like 2 more pictures. You do a flip book with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that's awesome. And before you get ready to head out, it's really rad. Speaking of moments of the World Cup fairs, as you said, that we got to watch them all together, like back to back to back to back there for the end of the tournament.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It was such a good. This is going to be a very memorable tournament.
Oh, yeah.
For several positive, fun reasons.
Man, what a beer to stack from where we just were.
I'm very glad you did this. Because we could not have ended on cookie piss and whatever the hell it's called.
All right.
Cookie piss.
Well, is that it, gents?
Brilliant. Yeah, I think
We
so.
good? All right. Let's wrap up this. It's an extra special long pod. Who cares? This is the last one we got
What
for
is
Ron.
it, 2.5?
It's not even the length of Fellowship of the Rings yet. We're still good.
I don't remember what that is.
7.5 hours?
That was like 3 hours long. The first one. No, the first Lord of the Rings movie.
We're not there yet.
Are we at
that's a
like
good thing.
235?
Yeah. We're
Yeah, he
Yeah,
said.
yeah,
as
yeah,
if
yeah,
it's. Just take a month to listen to this one, guys. That means-
Well, it's going to take me a month to edit all the bleeps in it.
Are you saying we sweared a lot?
Yeah, you did.
this beer's good.
Ah, you bastard.
Damn, it is.
Okay, that's done. All right, so the last thing we do, I got the trusty dad joke book out. All right, Ron, what? Did you just burp up good beer mixed with cookie puss beer?
Oh, that's gross. That was, man, I hope that came through because, the sound in my ears.
eyes.
His eyes are watering.
I was pointing at it. You didn't actually write a thing down. You just scribbled.
Oh, I know what it
You didn't
says.
actually write times
I didn't write
down.
the time down because they were so close together. I just went, screw it. Starting at this and that time. I'll just keep. I'll just
Ferris
keep listening.
regurgitated.
Like this. I'm crying. Oh my god.
The send-off pod.
Oh my gosh!
But then thankfully it was more of Fuller's than it was so it wasn't half terrible.
Man, this beer. This is
Very
something
good.
else.
Very good.
Okay, Ron.
With a cookie puss chaser.
You got it.
We have one can left.
A cookie
This
puss.
is our next bet beer right here.
A cookie puss aperitif. All right, Ron. You get the honor.
Stop.
So you call the last one. Let's see. Oof, man. Oh man. Okay, here we go. Nothing like after that good beer going back to the depths of cookie puss by a terrible dad joke.
Love it. Do it.
This is number 163. Why did the dad who was studying to be a surgeon rip the last page out of his textbook? He wanted to practice removing an appendix.
That cookie bus almost moved a appendix out.
That one was
Yeah, it kind of was. It kind of was. I won't lie. Maybe I should do one more.
The one that I love so much, the chug 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 with the London train, or what was it? That would have been perfect with this one.
Yeah. Hold on. We'll see if there's any magic. We'll see if there's more magic left.
Come on, baby.
Oh, that's a scratcher. Oh man. I don't. Okay, we're gonna do another one after this because I think this is funny, but you have to know like names of things or what things are called, not typically. Did you read the newspaper article about the raisin who cheated on his wife?
something about a date.
It was in the current affairs section.
Oh. Damn it.
Oh man,
Blessed be.
I think we may have done all the good ones.
Did we exhaust the book?
It's
There has to be another book. out there.
I mean, yes, there has to be. There's a Chuck
Like
Norris
a better
one.
dad.
I want to get and just change it all to
Zlatan.
Zlatan. Stuff. Yeah. Like,
Speaking of which, anybody see on Instagram, he put the best 11 via Zlatan. Zlatan in goal. Zlatan on left back. Zlatan at center back. Zlatan at center back. Zlatan in right back. And it was all him in the various years that he's played.
That's brilliant.
Various clubs. God, I love that arrogant bastard.
oh man.
The best part is he's really trying to find good dad jokes, and we've been swearing for the past
I
3 or
know,
4
I know.
minutes,
I
and he
just-
hasn't written a thing down.
No, I just gonna have to go. I'm trying to find
A half decent one.
like, yeah, man, these are really, really bad.
Like, read the Chug Chug one again. That was a good one.
What do you call a knight who's afraid to surrender?
I don't know.
No, I screwed it up. Never mind. It was what do you call it? What do you call a knight who's afraid to fight? Surrender. I messed
Yeah, you
I
did.
messed
That's actually pretty good.
these. Oh man. I'm so what? There's got to be a good one in here that's good. Man, guys, we really probably did. I don't know. I think we may have done.
What's the very first one?
The
Very first dad joke on the page. Have we ever read that one?
joke one.
Joke one. It has to be good. Starts the book.
Man, here we go. Why didn't the dad take his trash out for the waste collectors?
Why?
They'd already been and gone.
Oh, Jesus.
America.
Good night, folks.
Oh, here we go. Love the beer, cherish the game, the beautiful game. Safe travels, Ron.
Laters.
Cookie Puss.